Before I go on, let me postulate from the Franz Fanonian dictum, which stipulates that the dialectics of reconciling two conflicting ideas is the algebra of revolution. The overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporombium and amounting to sadomasochisms. Oporombium had further exacerbated oporombium. Overbearing intervention of the state government. The overbearing intervention of the state government. The overbearing intervention of the state government. The overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporombium. The overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporombium. The overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporombium and amounting to sadomasochisms. The overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporombium and amounting to sadomasochisms. Acrimony and chaos in our community. It was a contumelious stratagem. 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 It was a contumelious stratagem by political jobbers to siphon monies. We suffer what we call political axivia nunantorum. 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 Conclusively, we are a microcosm of the issues in the Niger Delta in the macrocosm. Conclusively, we are a microcosm of the issues in the Niger Delta in the macrocosm. Conclusively, we are a microcosm of the issues in the Niger Delta in the macrocosm. Today, we as a people are stating, Voxe Populi, Voxe Dei. Today, we as a people are stating, Voxe Populi, Voxe Dei. Today, we as a people are stating, Voxe Populi, Voxe Dei. Today, we as a people are stating, Voxe Populi, Voxe Dei. Today, we as a people are stating, Voxe Populi, Voxe Dei.
To me be na mini bintino obra kwenti oyentu ni santino umeni suma me a ubetino nyonku nanya sema udedino oh baby di na wo pechino ensini yentino yenjekino dudu oni shemo ya forgetino enye ni penso obra di edino oh grass okwaba huni faswa paswa swasa me huni mocho emre Florida, the chin 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 chan Kosiaga, Mumma me Dubai visa, Emre ni kaswo, na ya ni ndaso, say she pray to be so, oh pray to me dano, Emre ni kaswo, na ya ni ndaso, say she pray to be so, oh pray to me dano, oh grass or kwaba. Me hunye mucho o graso kwaba hunin faswa paswe swasa me hunye mucho emre ni kaswo na ye ni ndaso se she pray to be so oh pray to me dano emre ni kaswo na ye ni ndaso se she pray to be so.
All right, good evening and welcome to With All Due Respect Extended Version. My name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor. It's exactly 4:30 p.m. U.S. East Coast time. It's definitely 8:30 in Ghana. We are live from our studios here in Washington, D.C. We're live on TV. We're live on radio. We're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube tonight. You can watch this show live on Loud Silence TV, on Multi-TV, Loud Silence TV, on Multi-TV. If you have Multi-TV decoder or how do you call it? Multi-TV, right? If you have Multi-TV, you can watch us live. You also, if you don't have Multi-TV and you have a modern TV, you can still watch Loud Silence TV on your TV set. We're also live on Facebook. Our official Facebook page is With All Due Respect page. With All Due Respect page on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. Our YouTube page is Loud Silence TV. Loud Silence TV. We're streaming live also on radio. We have our own radio app. If you have your phone with you, you can go to if you have an Android device, go to the Google Play Store, download Loud Silence Radio. You get us live. You can listen to me live right now as I speak. We're also live on iOS or on Apple. Go to the App Store, download Loud Silence Radio. You'll get us live. All digital TVs can pick this show. Thank you very much. It's coming from Nine Kings. If you have a digital TV, you can watch us live on Loud Silence TV. Thank you very much, Nine Kings. Thank you to every single person who has made it here tonight. I really appreciate you. I really respect you taking the time to be part of this show. This is an anti-corruption platform. It's a social political platform also. It's a political show. Tonight, our focus will be on Ghana politics. The President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, today spoke at the UN General Assembly, the 80th celebration of the United Nations when it was put together. The President today spoke in the spirit of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Pan-Africanist. As we all know, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and also John Dramani Mahama. We'll be playing some of the words or statements the President put out today at the General Assembly. He was impressive. He's touched on the issues that people wanted to hear. He was straightforward. He was blunt. He did not mince words. And that is what we've been waiting for a leader to step up, for a leader to look into the eyes of the so-called superpowers around the world to let them know that we need to reset this world. And John Dramani Mahama today did that. Tonight, I will take my time to break it down for you to have a clear understanding of what transpired in New York City on 5th Avenue this afternoon. We also have other things to discuss tonight on the table. We will talk about Jakpa Olidade, Jakpa Obuasi Gold, Jakpa Black Stars, Jakpa the Lion, Jakpa Lion King. He has actually decided to go to court. He has written to the CID, to Yoko, to the security agencies to investigate Godfrey Dame, the former Attorney General, who basically went against the law, tried to coerce him and other people to jail the former minority leader, Atuforse, now the finance minister of Ghana. We will delve into that matter. We read Jakpa's statement and what he's seeking to be done. And also, we will discuss, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has made a very childish statement. We will clarify that statement. We will also be delving into some very important stories. We have stories on Galamsey, stories on the CID boss. Tokonu is in the news again. Also sickle cell today, as we can speak, under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, and also the health minister, Mr. Akando, has been added to the health insurance. Ghana Bar Association, we are also hearing stuff from there. We will talk about it. Doomsaw is no more. Gridco has put out a statement. These are stories that are very important. We will be discussing tonight. My name is Kevin Taylor. It's been a wonderful evening so far. We have been on air for 17 minutes, 10 seconds. We have 3,025 people on YouTube right now watching me on TV. We have 3.9 million eyeballs right now. The numbers are picking up. We have Facebook streaming live. We have YouTube streaming live. We are not about the numbers. We are about the facts. That is why we are here tonight. Me ena midi jumade ho chia me midi e de Kevin Ekobedu Taylor me dwudwa nsem mu e kyerɛkyerɛ mu ma Ghana fo nyina ehu de nokore no ekɔ ende nwumre me chia Ghana fo nyina amagye pene se enda anadwi de ekoso kɔ Paul kɔ Pele no Kevin Taylor ene ne team from the Ghost team no omaba se omoba abadwudwam ende nwumre nsem bebre go pono so a ye badwudwam ende nsem no dɔso ayese salamo anase enamampesie no wodi woma na woyi ende nwumre nsem a egu pono so ebi ne ye president John Dramani Mahama wakasa mbemem wakasa ama kai Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ende eno BPM wo United States of America eye inhyemu kase a amampenifo nyina wo wiase enyina tenase edwendwene Ghana ho ene ewiase nyina ho no ye friend the United Nations eye meeting no ende ye president ye friend John Mahama ekasaye okansam odwudwa nsemu nsem a sebio dipa bi eto sebe anasa oboka ne kasakwan mu no ende ogina Kwame Nkrumah anemu as an Africanist ade se Ghana ni Africania bebremu ene ofri ekansam ekyerɛkyerɛ mu kyerɛ ewiase amanan amansan ene eye emu mpenifo nyina se Ghana sebio ye dane Ghana yesesa Ghana ye reset Ghana e wo se ewiase so yesesa ye nante ye namonto bi a yetu titiru efa eye Africa efa eye ntokwa esisi wo aman bi so a ye nyimu ene nyoma bi a yenye a emwa nipa da seni oka bibi fa eye Africa mebu no ho de bibi a African pempenso a yedu ye gudie ene ye wudi a egu eye yasase ase se ne wo se Africa ebe ye ne ankasa ye dia na ye di so na ye ma eye amanfo bi embafa enfree ensem oka bibi efa empowerment senia emba ebenya tsebio eye ginebia ewo eye UN John Dramani Mahama ende okansam edwudwa nsemu menya time na medwudwam amagana fo ehunu kore no nsem beberegu pono so ende CID boss ne ho nsem wo ho yebeka eye Madam Tokonu a oye former CJ no so ne ho nsem bi etese eye Mr. Jakpa the Lion King Jakpa Olidade Jakpa Phobia Jakpa Kotoko Jakpa Obechewu or the eye Godfrey Damia or the former Attorney General yenyira hu ye time na MPP wa ben mu a ofa kotikwan so na nka pesa odada no keka nsem bi esesa na adwene ebu emra so emeye de atofos etu efiase no Jakpa se opese ende Ghana eye pepeyo ene nhwehwemu ene sebio eye transparency eda ho nti or the asam na kodane eye police for ene penifo se ye nhwehwem eye nyoma eye Godfrey ye no etiamra sebio e wo se ye twena so insem bebregu pono so ebedwudwum Dr. Mahmoud Baumia as usual sebio konu krum srem sankonko fa vote mra o de koraba ne baaye insem ebi asi emokeka na adwene ema na adwene no entoye o se etene na adwene na adwi na Ghana fo hu se sebio wutiri ho apa na nkyere se utise koraba insem bebre wo pono so abedwudwum midin e de Kevin Ekobedu Taylor me ena medi dwumade we hu chia me nipa bebre abo pem our platforms be so mo share every Ghana from the north to the south, east, west, and the 16 regions 13 NDC dia na 3 MPP dia no in 2028 ending 2029 no 14 and 15 NDC dia na ba ko pe abeye nkofo bi dia eno ehu dwumanti na mete he nwumbre a yedi udwa kwa yaba no yebedwudwam ama Ghana fo ehunu kore no fra wonua na wonua so mfra ni nua se Kevin Taylor and the Ghost team omaba and the Thursday ma woda Thursday ye fra me yawo me amfantini nti wo fra me ekɔ me asantini anke fra me kwawo enso me amfantini nti wo fra me yawo another wo fra me ekɔ me asantini anke fra me yawo ena me ahunani so a anke odin a yede be frame eye efu kwabena na sebio me ye Ghana ni misai French ni anko be frame eye Leron eno no eye kwa French mu no Leron na me sebio ka me fra Sankregua ke be frame Sangria Sangria Asankregua fo bi chia be kwai fo mi chia so asentreso eye bantama chia me chia me krom ayaldo fo Fantenya Nkrumah'S echia me ma me krom fo danu mi chia eye awonafo nyina mo Ghana mi chia enzemafo krobofo eye inkremofo enim nuanom ntafo mo Ghana mumu bi sebio magia pene se bobeka no kre age no kre Ghana si bibia wo sesi mi chia mu nyina chia mi krom fantefo Mr. Hansen and Mr. Eye Brown Fifi Kwete ono so yam kranyi mi chia won nyina mi chia Bichia oye Gladys Asma, Bichia Nkrumah'S wofreno Fifi eye Kwansa. Bichia papa bi oye Nkrania wofreno eye Mr. Bernard Clote Kilson. Also oye Drobonia befre bichia papa madam for form young cranfo a omo free the Oblite family bichia omo papa no omo no. The Oblite family bichia omo nyina omo young cranfo a some Yagani and can best young Cranian can be free to Oblite home. It's very, very important. Very good people, very, very nice people. One or two really I on everybody the Bakubi on the national papa. I know what about Sumbaku I Oblite. All right, thank you very much for being here tonight. It was our platform. So Amorak is watching me tonight. Thank you very much for being here tonight, Amorak. Also, Facebook, no nipa bebre ehwɛ me a meska hello atrom. On YouTube, no me hu Rashmel watching me tonight on YouTube. Thank you very much, Rashmel, for being here this evening. Also, your boy Frank is on YouTube tonight watching me this evening. Me hu Peace Nyamiche on YouTube. Nine Kings is live on YouTube tonight. Thank you very much, Nine Kings, for being here this evening. Me hu Abdul Salam Mustafa is live on Facebook. Also, Umar Mohammed watching me tonight on Facebook this evening. Team, are we good? I can also see Abi Edu on YouTube. Also, I can see Ima Kafui Kuzo watching me tonight live on Facebook. Imano is live. What's going on? What's going on? Team, something isn't right. Let me see this. All right, team, we are good. We are good. All right. Mickey F is watching me. Alex Jima is live on YouTube tonight. Ilyasu Abubakar is live watching me tonight. Bernard is watching me. Mickey F is live on YouTube this evening. Michael Kuveni is watching me. Isaac Kenji is live on YouTube. Also, I can see Johnny Wood. Mame Get watching me. Get Ridana Getty. Okay, Mame Get is watching me. Gifting Yam Jemfi is live on Loud Talents TV tonight. Also, Adai John is watching me tonight. Albert Agbodo is live on Facebook. Hamza Mohammed live on Facebook. Emmanuel is live on Facebook. Also, B Bala One is live on Facebook. Political Something is watching me. Sweet is watching me. Alhandu Francis is live on Loud Talents TV across the world. We are doing so many people tonight. Ediana Eko so amente ya dipebi eke kansam. Ediana esu wagana Kevin Taylor because maybe tibi bia. Eche bia na menye imagine se me few. BBC and Amentia na say BBI okay. So BBC dia mon kanche dan BBC dia mon kanche me na yan dwum na yenko enim. Sugar daddy fo am Ghana nyina me chiamo. Sugar daddy fo am Ghana nyina me chiamo ende enwumbre mo a mo hwe me sugar daddy fo. Sugar daddy fo am kan okre. Me chiamo nyina enwumbre a mo hwe me Efi ewiase afade nyina sugar daddy fo a monka no kre and the mini sugar daddy fo so and the Ghana fo asem intina yedi nkomo Mosi bibia nko so de amom yenye show no ma no yem se menka ase bi ba menka me pese me ye show nti enya de meka sa asem no calculation nyame bi wo ha o se satwe adwene koso na ye kai Ghana fo de ekoso ene de ACC ewo Ghana last time ka semi efa miankasa benyonko Kennedy Japan ho Kennedy Japan so bu adwuma ba omi bu adwuma Brand Champon enso bu adwuma MPP for some person be flag bearer. It's okay. That's why we're a democracy. We have to allow another political party to also express their views. And I believe party not say, but they just don't want to admit it. My job as a human being on this planet, Emuba Akone say megu MPP, and I keep saying it every day. So we study a year since I came into this space. Na enkophobia a hijacking or Ghana. I no create impression be say a year nipe bin kwan ebetuma ka a year Ghana honsem. There are few people pen our Ghana betuma TV, so I discuss a year issues happening in Ghana, politics in Ghana. Development in Ghana until I popped up. Now the system was saturated by some group of people. They created this impression, say, oh, you're ordinary Ghanaian to say me, you have no right to even make your point or try to explain things to the privilege, the platform, almost sebio, omuni sa akwenya na omuso bituma bo madwene. Yo nipa bebre Ghana, they can do more than I'm doing. The unclephobia organizers here, when they give them the opportunity to sit where I am sitting, they can do a fantastic job. They can express their views better than me. They can educate people better than me. And there are so many people too. They are happy I am here because I'm able to explain things for them to have an understanding of the AC or any Ghana chichirimu. When I sit on this platform to speak, or every single day when you see me on TV, what I try to do is I don't make you feel, say, I am intelligent than you. Or I don't make you feel, say, I belong to some certain class and you don't belong to that class. When the conversation comes, my opinion is what matters. No. What I try to do here is I carry you along. I try to let you understand what I'm doing. I try to help you to also express yourself in different ways by understanding what I am doing here. And it's what study. There are so many people in Ghana today, they don't like me as a person, but they always want to hear the message. If you don't like me as a person, I'm fine. I'm okay. Because I have people in my family I don't like. Yes. And there are people in my family who don't like me. It's what I mean, and I say, what, Sibio, we are just a friend or a viewer, and say no, I don't have any problem with that. But the most important thing is the message should get to Nipano for them to understand the message. And that was the gap between you, the Ghanaian, and the so-called people who were lying to you in the name of being experts, being journalists, being their pundits, being their contributors, being whatever, lawyers who were sitting on radio and TV. They created this kind of perception around themselves or each other that wona wo hwɛ me no sa wuti mikrom ayɛ do aname ma mikrom denu ana wuti ekrobia so na wo hwɛ mo na mo won kran a. They create the impression say brofo na ye kan nkran no until they come to tell you about it. You would never understand. And that is the gap I have tried to bridge. We have been able to bring you along. Yet to me, at the Ghana phone, abba to the table to the point whereby some people cannot sit in Ghana and be like, oh, I'm the friend to the president. My name is Kweku Bako, and I have a document, and this document says this, without everybody knowing what is in the document. We have been able to cancel out that. We have been able to stop that kind of running of a nation. In the end, we have been able to bring everybody along. Nobody can sit on TV and call themselves an exceptional brain. Or nobody can pop out from nowhere and make it look like, say, they are exceptional when it comes to Ghana ho ensensem. Yeah, Jenny Ghana ho, yeah, can Ghana ho sem, yeah, church Ghana and semua. Now we don't have anybody who stands out uniquely and say, I am unique when it comes to discussing Ghana's problems. But 10, 15 years ago, there were some people we saw as, until these people speak, Ghana issues, and that is the thing that we have been able to nullify. That is the confidence you have been able to put in the system. That is the belief. That is the country yet to be handed over to the people. So now the people can sit and listen to everybody and make their decisions that at the end of the day will better their lives, will change their lives, will make sure say our future it is in their hands and it is secured. And that was our job as Ghost Team and as Loud Silence Media. My job was to make you believe that you as that guy in our Tebekwai, what else Nkrumah, what Srim, what Bonono, you can sit or stay at wherever you are and be part of the conversation and make sure the decision we will take to elect leaders, to elect MPs, to elect people who lead us, you have a full idea, you have that control from wherever you are. And today, the belief and the confidence I Ghana Fuenya and knowing what is going on in this country, I'm a jandam, I a ding. I'm a nipebi ebreson bedada nipebi is because you have been part of the conversation. It is because you have now come to that realization, say, enye nipa kuo bi nkwa no munim nyansa wo Ghana who have the right to discuss Ghana. Because at the end of the day, when we are paying taxes, it is not selective. Yankasa we de ofri awonafo krom sebi onye adwuma nti ne tax no wo fom. Yankasa we de ofri chebi ebi ane nana ene den nti ne tax no de bi beka ho. Yankasa we de ofri aya menhia ne wo fa ne otumfo nti ne tax de better so when it comes to paying taxes in Ghana, direct or indirect tax, every Ghanaian at the end of the day pays. Why is it so when it comes to having a conversation about how we can change the destiny of this nation, our contribution to our economic growth, our contribution to our security, contribution to our freedom, contribution to our democracy, contribution to our judiciary, how we govern this nation? Why are we selecting and being selective about who has the right to speak on it and who doesn't? Now, some group of people created this impression, say nipa bi akọ a specific school, akosua some specific thing or some specific things. They are more knowledgeable than Ghanaian na sebio owura classroom da. And as a Ukrainian na uncle school da. You get what I mean? Now, common sense is not about the law school I will call it. Common sense is not about reading political science in Legon or a tech. Common sense is not about you being affiliated to a politician. Common sense is not you calling yourself a journalist. So, senipa na anko a university, senipa na anko law school, senipa no anya den ankonya abodini bi enkuta. You cannot deprive the person of onosono level of reasoning to the point where obemu se nipa we ebu ni kwasia na so omu ni kwasia. You don't have to be overly educated to be intelligent. You have to be able to apply your gumption. Do nyankopon dia ma no sebi omi Ghana ni 8 years ago na mete Ghana. I saw how things were being done. I saw how the environment was. I saw how ye kodidwa ye tonyoma. I saw how na sebio Ghana ye nyoma ye etie me hu sene na mesika samtie me hu sene na nkofo sika samtie me hu sene enti. With that, if you want to juxtapose, and I say, opesende, what the total ended the past 9 months, you don't need to have a degree to understand it. Because, so now, tomatoes, 8 cities. Then the same tomatoes, no, 4 cities. Your application here should tell you, say, nyoma asesa positively. So 8 years ago, some things were not being done right. Then the one who say, nipe bi A21 more. That thing here should tell you, say, there are some people on my already say obubeko sa adiena na nipe bi eja to no. Inti we what we have done over the years, what we have been able to build, the confidence we have been able to instill in Ghanaians, is to let that person almost friend ordinary Ghanaian. Because you see, the group now omudada for years and years, they came up with what we call the ordinary Ghanaian phrase. That statement, ordinary Ghanaian. Omoboa, they created it. And they created that word to put a gap between Omo and Nemo. And when Kokubako sits on radio, when Esankuma sits on TV, when Kofi Bento sits on radio, when those Kominini people sit on radio, and those politicians sit on radio, what they will say, they say, the ordinary Ghanaian does not understand. The ordinary Ghanaian sitting there wouldn't understand what we are talking about. What about the ordinary Ghanaian? What about the ordinary Ghanaian? Every single Ghanaian is an ordinary Ghanaian. But because there was a group of people, some elites be creating an impression, say, Yakoskunti, we should draw a gap between us and them. No, let us call them the ordinary Ghanaian. Send a buyer a bar. From the way they see it, our perspective should overshadow their perspective. It has some to me see. Now they are smart to pronounce say, okay, Galamsey, ebaye nyende ebaye anameboa regimes upon regimes upon regimes into my fight Galamsey. Any abedruha. Now, 8 years ago, a few months ago, Galamsey, the government which was in power, decided not to do anything. Now, the same Galamsey, there's a government in power. Nyomana, the government before a year, Emma Galamsey, at a point, now you to me can watch some kind or say or reverse. This is not a matter for elites or an ordinary Ghanaian. This is a matter for Ghana and Nyansa to say, okay, Obina Obi a quiet Emma Ghana for Remu, Chinese for Remu, Echo 2 Gala, Abra quiet yen 2 Gala woman, and the Abaibia bar or Sisa a year a quano mubiano obesino. amanfo a omo license over 2000 eye MPP aban a na yeti kroma ye ka se yenjai gala na omo license no and the aban bi aba or license kura oma biem. Enti so you Ghana ni you don't have to have a degree to know say aban bi na etiso no se sia no enimnyansa cha aban na etwemu no. Because at least ye tu one among aban na otiso no e kire se nyoma bi na ACC a na ema galamsey no eye densi ebeko no sa nyoma no otu one among ejina galamsey no. So that is the difference. And with that, nobody should be able to call you so you're ordinary Ghanaian. You are applying your common sense. And that is how we need to try and run this nation as a people. But your group people of Ghana, and they still exist. The reason why they are very careful of late in speaking and also in commenting on issues, and then they say, they know people like us, myself, and there are some very good ones in the system who are on social media, on TV, who have their own platforms, who come and kill the jandam. Until you can see, say, in Konfubia like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, who are very vocal on TV and on radio every day, now they are careful. Most of them are not even showing up faces. They are not dead. They are still around. Because now, they don't have that room where they will call themselves to say, yeah, different from the ordinary Ghanaian. Yeah, the Nkrumah'S and the ordinary Ghanaian. Now, what we know, the ordinary Ghanaian does not know. The last time I heard Bright Simmons, he was sitting on TV and he was talking about some issue, and you could see, say, with all due respect to him as an intelligent guy who does a lot of research, you could see, say, that particular topic he was speaking on, you could see he had gone to AI to read on some one or two things, and he was just doing what? Spewing AI statement. And they said, when did we have the plane crash? You could see Bright Simmons sitting on TV, and all that he was speaking about, you could see, say, he had no knowledge about the plane, how it is going to be retrieved, how the emergency operations have to be conducted. But you could see, say, apart from he having an economic background, he was forcing himself in a situation or a space which he had limited knowledge about. And sometimes when you sit back, with all due respect to him, he is very good at what he does. But some people try to fit into places where they know that their knowledge or they don't have that kind of knowledge in. There are some people like that in the system. And because we have been able to let or enlighten Ghanaians, such people are now finding it difficult to just be coming out every day to speak. Now, what they do is they hide behind people's articles. What they do is they hide behind people's statements to see, say, they can be relevant. And sometimes people think, say, oh, people cannot lie again. People cannot lie to the system again. People cannot draw a line between some group of people and Ghanaians again. Right now, there's nothing like we mu nimnyansa chen we mu TV zunto mu ye better chen we mu de ya omo tenkran to mu nimnyansa chen we mu. That line is gone. We have been able to clean that line. We have been able to bridge that gap. Into today, when you are sitting on news file and you are speaking, you are not any exceptional intelligence. We don't see you as an exceptional intelligence. And it's a weird intelligence. When you sit on TV3 to speak, we don't see you as a unique individual. When you sit on any platform to talk, we don't see you as what you are saying is not something that we cannot verify. Because in the past, hardly could we verify anything because access to information was difficult. How many people had money to even buy data to access the internet? How many people were able to freely go and ask questions for AI to give you exact answers? How many people had the time to go to library to go look for a specific book to go and read on a specific topic? But today, you don't need to have a book. You need to just have something, a gadget in your finger, in your hand, and then do what? And search or research or ask questions. And that is why the so-called elites, as we speak today, it looks like they are fading out. They are not fading out. They are there. The problem is they are getting competitors. The people they did not respect, the people they underestimate their intelligence, they have become their competitors. In terms of saying, sometimes he does some things, he makes some statements, he does some analysis, and you're like, that is how it is. When we call evolution. When we talk, evolution. When there's change, when there is change in wisdom, when there's change in how we consume information around us or in our environment now. There's this evolution whereby things that we appreciated and were scared of, we start to see those things as part of our thinking. And there are people, today you watch them on TV and you're like, but this analysis and this statement, it's basically jandam. And that is the level of intelligence and change in the way people, we get access to information. It is a metiha. Sometimes I'm on my show, I'm talking, I'm speaking on something. In the next 2 seconds, somebody has already cut that piece and started sharing on their page. That is the new world. So you cannot say you are the repository or you are the headquarters of intelligence or wisdom. Knowledge is everywhere. Nobody can intimidate. It does not matter your degrees. It does not matter school awako. A young man can question you on something he believes or knows after researching that you are lying about it. In those instances, they are not so exceptional again. You see right now, you see them, you watch them, and you're like, these people, initially we thought they were that smart, not knowing they are not that smart. It is not them. It is technology. It is the way we have embraced it. It is the way we have brought you along. And the Baumia Kasa, and some people you thought, Nana Dankwe Kufuado in 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2000, Ekufuado Kasa, the whole Ghana has a Jimmy. When Ekufuado speaks, when he was speaking in those times or those days, Obia Ghana Biana just Ekufuado Nimyansa Chen Obia. All because one, Ekufuado them created then this gas around them. Say yeah dear, ya call law school, yeah dear, near papa ni way, yeah dear nim no win. But time everybody na expose you say na Sunday Ekufuado kura we Jimmy Chen Tafo. Enye Ghana Tafo, in Tafo e war more mass. Sunday Ekufuado Jimmy said mass and Tafo. Because as we sit here, in Tafo e war more mass. As time went on, there are some people now you respect who say we mukra so many nyansa nchen sa hwe obi tise osafomafo and the osafomafo to na okasa afa economics one and also oka economy one so we can say how did we make this guy a finance minister? Send osafomafo gina ho na so osafomafo e kasa obi say how did osafomafo become a finance minister? And who obi say e free akoto. Now, how did this guy become a Greek minister for 8 years? So there's so many people in the system now. When you listen to them, you ask yourself, say, then your man go for a chance. And the Baumia Kasa, Baumia to me Kasa, you tweet and you questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will recall that I stated in 2014 that if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. That was true then, and it is true now. It is 100% correct. So if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But it is warped logic to jump from that to a conclusion that if there is depreciation in your currency, then the fundamentals must be weak. Do you understand the logic? It is very warped logic. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But if the exchange rate moves, you cannot jump to that conclusion that the fundamentals are weak. That defies
So you see, and they also tell you, I say, how did we end up with this guy as the vice president? And we said, we're in the bit to make changing Ghana economic fortunes. Ultimately, obi tise Samira Baumia. Wako Gimpa. One should and master on anything. Regular student passing through. Your son ni atwene wo ha ni ayi ni say k eno de we Gimpa. Into sia ushap Samira no kabrofo wesere. Owia no busan say oye first lady, second lady and oye no to first class jet no akọ kunkumba ja akọsra omo. Onu say naturally onim nyansa ye de chichire man. So it is not about the original way we and you know, who has Samira about me so nyansa Obaji say utiene na okasa say girl ya no ne kasa full niba but man the practical thing to do or to be clinic. ontiase se ade na also ye ne hufin na oma akwarabi enya enkwa ontiase nti we have allowed such foolish people in our space for too long. It's the same thing. But omi otisa na yire na Usha Samira we chide nim pons onko higempa. Please don't do that. I'll see you. Oh, don't worry. I don't come out in the evening. I'll see you at later tonight. Oh, Samira, and my husband, let me tell you, when it comes to economy, why dumb? Why dumb? That is what we talk about every day. We created these people out of nothing. They are daft. They are ignorant. They are foolish people we are allowed to go through the mill without questioning their level of intelligence. Because it's not you being married to a politician like Samira. Marrying Baumia makes Samira intelligent. No. And as Samira speaking English. Now Samira saw nya Ghanani. It is what is so unique about it? Because when Suabrofoka on Tichi Papa, when Suabrofoka on Timfante Papa, when Suabrofoka on Tiwangara Papa, child focus on it. Into the only options of Becca Brofo into Samira Tebrofwa. What makes Samira intelligent? Samira niye ne action the chesa with Jimmy because as a second lady no on full plane and free hanko India. So okwa kunkumbaja and the low level of intelligence. Into Nigeria is a kitchen bob. Somebody will say someone say, where did this Samira attempt? Samira on charm you. Me jujum yana ya uya. Yana ya uya. And you sit there, who will be to say, those times at Ghana, hey, Kennedy Japan, yes, Kennedy Japan, dear, or no, now American or T, and a Kennedy, dear, no Niminyansano, or your businessman, Kennedy Japan, or first or Cassa, now man for two, or Cotranded tour, or to meet Jimmy no one, hey, way, or Niminyanso, Kennedy Japan to be bien and no Cassi.
And that is what I stand for. Panchi leaves, many China phobia, I experimental leaves, have protein. Protein, a good for poultry feeds. We are going to use cassava leaves, mix it with maize and soya bean, and produce poultry feeds in Ghana. Thank you.
That's also obesi hotel where pum. They see also what the Chinese phobia translate we say banching hono, or the fray bra, you better be feed the poultry. Sign your way in a not to we're joining in our Tonko Force. Sign your money in our say a idea now would dim. Sir for 8 years, ko 4 time na Kennedy Japan wo or catch a second 4 time no was catching will be a coup for the time was catching will be a banching hono no. Yadifra a bro, edema, ediye, poultry feed, was sound of what in Cocoa Free China. Okoton Cocoa Free China, and Cocoa, ya parking 8 months a good dem, no a swab a good gun as a monte temwe. Overcall if you know or your body and PCD. Adia, made a doctor say, my surgery in Timam India Cocoa Foods. And these are the people we sat in Ghana and we were listening to. What Jampier Free, Ocean Hotel, Edia Babedru Bancha Habain. Bancha Habain or the Befidi poultry. Or Tina Ekufuado Abem, one district, one factory. Or Tina Ekufuado Abem, contract or Ekufuado Abem, contract or GNI energy contract. Or to Bost, or to Ghana gas, or to dear border. So he never thought of this. Or free power, I'll say, oh, Bancha Habain. Bancha Habain, or the free bura, you bet to be a Nyankuko. Kwadukrom Dompim or your MP for 23 to 27 years. When to me for Bancha Habani Burama Nikro before, Omo Munyan Kuko, and I said, when Bian Kuko Pochi, and I said Pochi, and for Mat Nikro before Mebunu, Sir Omofanya Dianeman Kuko, and Kwasiasam. These are the people, and Menewabe Musomuni Munyansa, they take advantage of the people. These are the people, and we hail these people. Where dear or a businessman. That word businessman, what does it mean? Obi Obegacho Ghana so a businessman be or a cron for anybody. Say Ushia Obi or Ghana. Ushia Broni. No, we say, what do you do? Now I say I'm a businessman. He sees you as a criminal. There's nothing like I'm a businessman. What is businessman? What does it mean by what do you mean by businessman? Also, such Trump not a business. Trump, he was into real estate. Ne juma na oye no. He didn't just call himself, say, I'm a businessman. What do you mean by I'm a businessman? When you say you're a businessman, you're a thief. The reason is that you try to go into other places you are not supposed to go to. You infiltrate. You use some influence to get some things indirectly which you know are not legitimate. There's nothing like I'm a businessman. So I'm a politician cum businessman or ye. But or say economist. And the engineer who say on your economist papa wa bon. Baumia cannot be a better president because in the first place, ni Sivia, a maninya the Iranimate our MPP mu ebe vice president na or economist. Or by economist no, ye sika semina say ye into be a Jimmy Obeto Obama Baumia se be president. Kene Japan the MPP 16 years Kufuor Ekufuado. Also a businessman, cum politician. Businessman, what specifically does he do? I take contract. Taking contracts and making sure you making money out of government does not make you a businessman. So people when you say I'm a businessman, I am a DN. You see video what's the judge. It's Kennedy like that, no? Or cotton, because he does not come with any specification. It does not come with any background to be a say, wait dear, wait now you're good work. Because I'm so a businessman, any fool can be a businessman. I'm town red or PZ. Emma boys ninyam for so I'm a businessman and woman. So be to PZ eton red. Obi to PZ eton air codeine, obi to PZ eton coca, or a businessman, because for the cocaine 2 tables no be tar or young faso. Into any fool can be a businessman. Obi can say I am an economist. Now the Ghana shedding some now for 8 years. Ghana see can jumping from 3 to 17 now, or a Jimmy 4 on your economist is a liar. And say a Jumani a flower, you'll be sacked. Into why should we even entertain such comedians? Such clowns, people who just say things because Omojin say Jimmy in their life, they have created that impression. They have created that impression. I'm some Ghanaians think say because when I sit and somebody like Kennedy Japan stands before me and says, I'm a businessman. You're a businessman means nothing to me. Criminals call themselves businessmen because if you're a businessman, you should have one business that you are good at.
I have a receipt here. Namoshia Ghana for mentality. Why Ghanaian businesses don't succeed? I am building the biggest coal store in Africa, not in Ghana, in Africa. 31,000 tons coal store. Biggest. I'm saying Angola, and will be what 30,000. 31,000 tons coal store. Obi obefi se me dwa manu mekiro baby o. So they
also motorway
no, and we are steel plant. Okay. Yeah, you know, but my head, my dinina, ye bang, nam the achretrim. Yes, ye betrani, ye gray and I want to make a difference in society. Until Obi Bao now quiet president. You don't have to be president to effect change in people's lives. With him, let me go straight to this. Opinion. Mimpese, ubakase bia miditro. So, Timpesa who ready at the receipt way. Time you try.
You don't have to be a businessman to affect people's life. Otia and Oka just to Abamame. Naminkosi hotel where pum. Naba omiaso ni Jimmy namha. You know something, and the economy and digital. These people are crazy. All of them are crazy people. By the champ, I'm also a businessman. I have built hotel. It's Yentam Ghana. Yentam Ghana because you have built a hotel. Now, by the champ, Jimmy, also to Wuremu or to Wuremu, I'm the president. Adaya, Makosi Hotel will Wurem, it's Yentam Ghana and Shay and Sim. This is our problem as a nation. There are people who have gone through the mill to get to where they are. When you pick somebody like John Dramani Mahama, he's an in and out politician. He makes policies. He thinks through policies. He oversees policies and makes sure policies are implemented. So, or you're in and out politician. John Mahama has never stood anywhere else to tell you, say, I started my career as a businessman and I bought and sell. No. John Mahama always sits back and think for businesses. Think about policies. Things about solutions that a businessman, somebody in Ghana, those solutions can help the person's life to be better. You're in and out politicians. These people you are seeing are comedians who are lying. Kennedy, Bawumia, they have nothing under their sleeve. Brian Champo has nothing. He is capitalizing on some ignorant people to say, Messi hotel in T. Now in Padudo Messi hotel or Ghana. Do you know the number of people who have built hotel in Ghana? And there are even Ghanaians who have built hotel outside Ghana. So we should just hand over Ghana to you because your friend Brian Champo, Messi hotel. Managing a hotel and managing a country. Massa. Yet to come Brian Champo. Now buying also and compressor top snit. Your pension sika hotel, you know, nanko also tonebe any dia. Such a person, oh Danny Ghana, I said in sim, wouldn't be Ghana bay. Time na only control crano or your minister kekeno, anka your pension hotels in Cotoning in Amana bay any dia. Sakwa on worry young way. It is anka and sakaya, wouldn't be Uncle Bay. And we sit in Ghana and we entertain all these nonsense, all because in Kofobe create some bibiato system. And we say, oh, where mu die, the where mu die no more Jimmy. The where mu die. They are all people who are what? Foolish. As Kennedy said, these are all opportunists. They want to use you to make more money. And then the difference between John Mahama and the rest. And then the difference between John Mahama and the rest. John Mahama's job is to think, make policies for it to have a positive effect in the lives of the people. And then your politics, and then your reasoning, and then your managing. And then the difference between John Mahama and Ekufuado. And then Mahama free power, no? Majority of you were like, what kind of governance the Ekufuado do enemy? They na Ghana econo. Because he does not understand that you as a leader, you as a politician, you need to think, make laws, implement policies, let it have effect, positive effect in the lives of the people. But when you bring a businessman does not think through policies. A businessman is always thinking business, and his whole thing is about profit. Who is the beneficiary of the profit? He needs to profit before you profit. And the finance minister, the finance ministry was a profit-making venture. It was an institution that was built around him. And every deal or enterprise insurance, they had a percentage in it. It was business as usual. It was business first. It was not policies to affect your life. It was not thinking decisions that would change the lives of the people. MPP, they were in power for 8 years. You were still asking what is going on because nobody was thinking. Nobody was doing the thinking. Nobody was implementing the thinking. Nobody was making sure after implementing the thinking was making a positive impact in your life. Their idea was, it was always about sell, buy and sell and make money. Until they were throwing words around. One district, one factory, one constituency, one dam. Because if you look at all the policies under Bawumia Ekufuado, they were all business venture policies. And those business venture policies, it was to benefit themselves because they create companies around it and then they take money out of you. And the offer about Busan say, Paulugu Damono, how is it benefiting the people? Or because he does not know. Over $12 million gone. There's a difference between a manager, a politician, and somebody who calls himself an economist. You being an economist does not mean you be a good manager. Somebody who can implement better policies for it to have better effect on the people, for it to be able to think through it. And to say in the future, what decision I've taken or decision I've taken today will make an impact. There's a vast difference between the NPP and the NDC, the president we have today and the clown we had yesterday. Now, what was I doing? Near to Nkrumah'S Bawumia, Ekache Ghana for you say. Saudi keen to build medical university, 42 SHS in northern region. Mahamudu Bawumia. Okachara say, the king of Saudi Arabia, see a medical university, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. 6 years, we didn't see any Saudi king come to build any medical facility. No Saudi king. This guy calls himself a leader. He's a liar. Near to Nkrumah, or say Saudi king is see a medical university we are. Obesi 42 senior high schools. Before that, now Bawumia catch Ghana for Oni Ekufuado catch say Omoba see 350 senior high schools in their first year. Mr. S, get me the document. and get me the video. Nana Akufo-Addo ba omi agina Ghana for nim ka kire say ye ne MPP for including Kennedy, including Bride Champon, including Kentry, including Kwabena Japan, including Baumia, we are going to build 350 senior high schools in 2016. In 2015, that is what they told us. We should give them the power. Baumia ne Akufo-Addo, Kennedy Japan, Bride Champon, they belong to the same family. They told us, say, "Yam for 2 million our education, yam no 350." As we sit here for 8 years, this businessman could not build one school. Now you see, I'm trying to let you see the difference between Sanko Fowe, the NPP. Whoever represents the NPP is a liar. They are businessmen. They are just making money. They don't care about you. And it's not draw some line. Yeah, cratch for party. We are party of elite. They wanted to create that impression in your head. Send a bear obi to bekwaya. No, who say MPP nibi wa kra, who is on nyansa. Into if you are cry no ba bekwaya kase. Yani one cry, yeah, policies ma was yo yate. No, adani jimi to bekwaya. So obi to menshia, Souta, Oba, or say, hey, a cratch for no one crying. Into who Jimmy to say sticker or swatting crying, eh, yeah, a jumamaye. When we create a line be able to, the people cannot cross it. The people cannot cross it. Sanka Baumia engi napo sani running meter. Na mumudu do nimsa napo ye Jimmy. Anameboa until he was given the room to express himself. They have 1,000 of them in the MPP. They are just businessmen. They make money out of you people. They are liars. And you see, sometimes the reason why they hate me is that when I sit here and I speak on the issues, I bring you along. I make you see the difference between these liars and why we are not supposed to hand over the country to these liars. 2019 Baumia Nkrumah'S Baumia is a selfish liar. Enti Adam and Eve Baumia ne Samira. Samira to work as I saw economist. Baumia and Samira kaso ye campaign about Baumia. Obeje Samira economist because they kunu dino and no be no odi. Atrona ni kuna master no and no be na master into betnaso. You know my husband, he's an economic waste kid. You know when the economy, because it is not about being too intelligent, it's about being confident in your lives. Iti Obane suya Baumia, Samira suya Baumia when it comes to opportunities and creating opportunities for people. Onim nyansa na obetum ya anything obedi. First lady for a second lady for 8 years. We cannot still see her impact in Ghana. And then Bob Samira dia na okay, kunkum bajia. Dia na okay, wear makeup. Dia na okay, wa party trum. She does not represent anything. She does not symbolize anything. We cannot sit and say Samira be okay no. It is only makeup that will come into your head. But when I mention say okay, Lordina Mahama. Or say, Lordina Mahama. Concurrenza. Lordina Mahama there. Okay, Lordina Foundation. A Juma wa ye. Ye nim the clinics in the hospital. And they are bought a year dien. A year Kufo. A Kufo the year. A year dien. Rebecca Dia. Then okay. Rebecca Foundation. And now on them ban the Betty Foundation. Rebecca Foundation won't kai. Now Rebecca Kufo do nimna. You know the people. They don't represent anything. It is about them. It's about their selfish interests. Ubo Aya Kufo Yiridin, she represented something. Ubo Nana Kudedo Ajma Rawlings, apart from me having my problems with her, allow the Akufo-Addo dems to enter her family, to destroy her family and destroying her husband, apart from her being too greedy when it comes to political positions, she was very impactful as a first lady in Ghana. One of the most impactful first ladies in Ghana. 31st December Women's Movement. Every single community and village in Ghana, a woman was touched. That is the kind of woman we are looking for. John Mahama's wife. Go and search on Atamel's wife. Her impact when it came to their basic education. Mubina na okoto or Ghana around the nation or call school bia na teachers they say materials no omo find week ebimaya MP focus say chalk ni no. Her impact on basic education primary. Her impact. This is what we talk about. Nasanko Fowe, what do they represent? What does Baumia represent? What does Samira represent? Samira represents Instagram. She represents makeup. She represents the Kunkumbaja. What does she represent? Nothing. So why should we hand over a country to people like these who have no responsibility in life?
We plan a rapid and vigorous development of educational infrastructure in the first 18 months of the next MPP government. This will involve the building of 350 new senior high schools from scratch, whilst rehabilitating and expanding existing ones. Since these schools will be spread across the length and breadth of our country, this construction activity will immediately lead to an explosion of employment in all districts of our country.
This is what they told us. This is what they told us. We are waiting. This is what brought Bawumia and Ekufuori to power. Omakaso 350 senior high schools from scratch. He made that statement. And the existing ones, they will expand them and finish them. Hey, what do they represent? Bawumia represents what? Bawumia represents the first economist or yet 10 year or Sayan Krebonia or Bedi Ghana Swa or Tam dollar free 3 equal to 17. That is Bawumia's hallmark. What does Bawumia represent? Bawumia represents the timer Ghana echo IMF. Abro Gina State Council, we will never go to IMF. Bawumia represent a politician under his leadership or the head of economic management team. Inflation could do 57. That is Bawumia. He's a failure in everything. He's a failure, a total failure. What does his wife represent? She represents makeups and stylish clothes. That is what we remember about Samira for. What do we remember Samira for? Why would you me? Samira. Hey, Nentadi. Hey, and tomorrow Samira does not represent intelligence. She does not represent helping vulnerable people. She does not represent a mother. She does not represent what we want as Africans. But you can mention Lodina Mahama. She represents an African mom. She represents people who are in need, who need help. She represents saving people, women. She represents people who are thinking about the health care of Awofo, Apimfo. That is what African women represent. Not makeup, not shiny clothes, not mapamisrim. That is an Instagram lifestyle. So when we are making decisions, we need to understand that decisions are about benefit here in the long term, not decisions that will wash away like makeup on Samira's face. Samira's political life is like makeup. It lasts for about 6 hours. If you wash it away, she goes back to sender. And that is not the kind of woman we need in our politics. That is not the kind of woman we expect to spearhead women in Ghana. We cannot put our women, their future on a platform to say makeup. That is what Samira represents. She represents makeup. You wash it off after every 6 hours. After 6 hours, and that is not what we want. We want a woman who will leave a mark, a woman who will leave a permanent mark, a woman who will build a clinic, a woman who will build a hospital, a woman who will supply medical supplies, a woman who will be there for women, a woman who will represent women. That is what we are looking for. We are not looking for makeup artists who are going to be washed away in 6 hours. That is not what we're talking about. Samira is a back to sender woman. After 6 hours, she's back to sender. Until she puts on makeup. But Samira is a back to sender woman. Now, Mami Jujum. Samira the uncle compete Miss Chad. Now we ni bra breno. Ya chechire Ghana. O pese e kasa ne ho for uncle Chad nko compete Miss Chad. Ye ni bra bre wa ha no for concert na mfa free penny so. Now, before I go on, let me postulate the Pan-Africanism dictum.
Before I go on, let me postulate from the Pan-Africanism dictum, which stipulates that the dialectics of reconciling two conflicting ideas is the algebra of revolution. The overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporombium and amounting to sadomasochisms. money, and chaos in our community. It was a contumelious stratagem by political jobbers to siphon monies. We suffer what we call political axivia nunan torum. Conclusively, we are a microcosm of the issues in the Niger Delta in the macrocosm. Today, we as a people are stating, Voxe Populi, Voxe Dei.
Voxe Populi, Voxe Dei. We as a people are saying the word of God, the people is the word of God. Voxe Populi, the voice of the people, Voxe Dei is the voice of God. Inti asemno ena me Nigeria nino aka oporompium. We are going to exacerbate to make sure that the Pan-Africanism dictum. They said, you can say, or per se, or can ask some no every French for dictionary, and no friend the Pan-Africanism dictum. Intimate na honka say, akwate brofo, when who's some to the Jimmy. Before I go on, let me postulate from the Pan-Africanism dictum, or see answer na mekasano, mumma mingi bibi free French for dictionary, the Pan-Africanism dictum. It stipulates.
Before I go on, let me postulate from the Pan-Africanism dictum, which stipulates that the dialectics of reconciling two conflicting ideas is the algebra of revolution.
The dialectics of reconciling two conflicting ideas is the algebra of oporompium. He's basically saying that when two people, the dialectic, or see, say, afani afa, etri anko benkromu edin tokwaneba, the dialecting of the okanye. The other person can say, when two opposing sides do not sit to come to a conclusion, there's always confusion. And no cannot say the end.
Before I go Pan-Africanism dictum, which stipulates that the dialectics of reconciling two conflicting ideas is the algebra of revolution. The overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporompium.
The overburdened interference of the state government has exacerbated oporompium. Or say a buy now then sa efra eyedien eye omainimun sem dodwono amadien ama omaina jegu the state of oporompium. Na say ye church ba entwe aban no ensa ode wo wonsam wo eye Nigeria memu no ene na ama oman no esin kokode ene the state of oporompium kokode the state of oporompium into okode nim no unte ena oto Kevin ene jira pa masem yo bijujom.
Before the overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporompium and amounting to sadomasochisms.
And amounting to sadomasochisms. Amounting to in French Nigeria for cry. There's some kind of family.
Before the overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporompium and amounting to sadomasochisms.
Amounting to sadomasochisms, sadoma, any sochisms. Or say, the oma ye ama oman esin kokode esin twitwide ama oman any ehi ahenhan etua keka ninsem ene ne frɛ no sadomasochisms. The oman penifo de omonsa ewurawura oman emu nsensemu etietie mu no ama oman esin twitwide ama oman eni etutu aka ninsem ene na ye sadomasochisms. Otowo bie wonum brofo na odwudwem kakran bia nkofo de to se onimnyansa ama ankobetima kan simple say oh oman de mu de impedifo no ye na enye moma ye nyina kan humbom na yamba abenkrom na yendwene ho ankobetima kan saa bo onim so bomto de Nigeria MPP for mo jimi omu ko school inti ose oye de oporompium na osa ko de nim na osa kire bibi wa ha.
Before bearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporompium and amounting to sadomasochisms. Acrimony and chaos in our community. It was a contumelious stratagem by political jobbers to siphon monies. We suffer what we call political axivia nunan torum, into sadomasochisms. Acrimony and chaos in our community. It was a contumelious stratagem by political jobbers to siphon monies. We suffer what we call political axivia nunan torum. Conclusively, we are a microcosm.
Or see, it was a contumelious stratagem by political jobbers. Or see, na any down any day etrimu bopo boni a politicians are omano endi binim endi ember game and when you brad yes woba on a friend contumelious stratagem a yetrimu poa I say one number afa say omo de be say mino a political jobbers a politicians omon kan kura ogina ha no aka fe ade cha no aka fo otise baumia political jobbers omano omu jemu a insemhunu neba into say it was a contumelious stratagem. It was a contumelious stratagem. Now say omu bomu trimu po say at the boni omu chichire edi amagana edi aswaye no eno na ede political jobbers aya politicians omu adwene enye den enko benkrum eno say to siphon monies omu bo omu trimu po every 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16 to say MP4 and now we imagine say omu di omu sabe boy sikem ya catch a siphon and to say sebio wayan krakra de nam gum now do sa boom you siphon the money siphon monies and osaka political asylum the nan torom or see omu say a political asylum the nan torom omu yan kofo bia omu chinchine sa bibi te sa gabi omu ye nipa bia oyo omu hwe enyeye eye wudie krono insekuo ene nyoma ya omu ye edema oman emma eyem dwa omu ene ye frɛ no eye contumelious stratagem that led to political jobbers siphoning our monies. That is called political asylum ninantorom. Now so we'll finish it in some no kind na
conclusively by political jobbers to siphon monies. We suffer what we call political axivia nunan torum. Conclusively, we are a microcosm of the issues in the Niger Delta in the macrocosm.
Today, nanu kosino, aya Nigeria for no omu microcosm in the macrocosm. Into utia or say they are a microcosm.
Before to siphon monies, we suffer what we call political axivia nunan torum. Conclusively, we are a microcosm of the issues in the Niger Delta in the macrocosm.
They are a microcosm of the issues in the Delta, in the Delta region. Our macrocosm. Now the all can say, yeah, microcosm, entatia. Sebio eyedien eye ekronumu nsema akese adoria ya ede ye ginem macrocosm ne ye kasiem ba ye ne ye ntatia ye ti ede kuraba kasiem into microcosm in the macrocosm or patch say delta state no eye macrocosm kuraba kase enomo eyedien ntatia omoda kuraba kasiem into we the microcosm in the delta ede state macrocosm. What you say? Into microcosm is in the macrocosm. That means that in Ketwano Eda Akesium, there soon and a chinketwari. Ha, and then I know what you know. Now, all the baby, no, and Sunny Atwaso or say.
Before of the issues in the Niger Delta in the macrocosm. Today, we as a people are stating, voxe populi, voxe Dei.
Ose ende yene Nigeria for ye ka kire Ghana for say nipa dodo na no asem eno ene onyankopon ana abosom no anu asem. Enti insema na oka nyina nko betuma aka 1 minute. Say enuanom de aban no eya ode ne nsa efrafra ye nsemu ema nyoma ye ho kire ya omudo mo sika abo ye sika semu ma ye twa edwadwo ma ye ho kire ye a ye nipa ye ni obi kan ya asem ma ye a ende Delta State nsema abeya ya ye nkitwa gine ma ye ntumi ndi ye hu onyame ene enim se na asem ene ye asem ko betuma aka ne sa bo onim so omo tie kire ye MPP for omako school akọ kira JSS omo agimi eni no oye political jobas eni no oye ede union torom eni no oye transpananian dictum eni no use word be say acrimony eni no use political jobas or use microcosm or use political asinium union torom onim so omo agimi eni bi na ba omia de MPP for no eno ena ba omia e de MPP for no onim so ka kire mo say mo gimi omo ntiase enti obeka ne say mo kai John Mahama mo kai NDC omo si ye 93,733 na mo miento enim enko enim. Now this is a story I want to remind the Commissioner General of GRA. Commissioner General of GRA should understand, and this goes to the Finance Minister Ato Forsen. The Commissioner General of GRA, your name is Mr. Anthony Kwesi Sapon. Makacho, you are not a politician, but you have been given a political appointment, and that appointment can be taken from you. Time and now KPMG, you know, you saw the job you did. But if you are going to be corrupt, if you are going to deliberately help some custom officers, they have political, criminal background, they don't deserve to be where they are, you have to make sure you do the right thing. And this goes to the Finance Minister, because the decision you took about bringing back corrupt custom officers back to Tema and the headquarters, you took that decision with the Finance Minister to Forsen. Now, this customs officer, Augustine Ata Edubofo, now or a CRO, which is Chief Revenue Officer. Aban Sisaya Yabeya Wo, Commissioner General, you actually transferred this guy to Koforidua. And when you sent him to Koforidua, any 2 weeks, and I want Finance Minister Tina say SR calling and say on Samra. This man has a lot of things on him. We all know. What Tina port for 12 years. Now the information I am picking is that when I made a statement on this your decision, this your corrupt decision, you have moved this man to the headquarters, keeping the same position as the post-clearance officer. Take him from there. This guy has been involved in Lexus thefts. The OSP is investigating him. This guy was involved in La Bianca scandal. Move that guy from the headquarters. Makachiro, if you want to be happy, do what is right. Mr. Anthony Kwesi Sapon. Omoya Commissioner General, people did not like it. People like us sat here and said, because of the job you did at KPMG, Suka say, you can do this job. Do not allow politicians to infiltrate. The little respect at the office that believe the president had in you, keep it and stop abusing your office. This guy should be moved away from the headquarters today. Ochina, he's not supposed to come there. If you want to rock shoulders, from Ochina, you see the dirty part of me. And I want you to call your friend the Finance Minister. We are not going to entertain any nonsense again. We are here to protect this government, to make sure John Mahama leaves a legacy. No president in Ghana, apart from Kwame Nkrumah, we can compare to. Because you, Mr. Edian Sapon, I never saw you on any stage campaigning for the NDC. But because of expertise in Tina John Mahama Dokoshe Edian as the Commissioner General of GRA, do not start this nonsense. Pull the guy to Koforidua. He's not supposed to stay in Accra. He's not supposed to be in the headquarters. Take Augustine Ata Edufo back to Koforidua, because he's not better than anybody in Koforidua. He's not supposed to be in Accra. Take him back to Koforidua, because you cannot sit there and tell me, say, oh no, or you're better than Omo Koforidua. Take Augustine Ata Edufo back to Koforidua And today is your last day. I am telling you, today is your last day. And I'm telling the finance minister, today is the last day. Edubofo is not supposed to come to headquarters. He's not supposed to be at Tema. Edubofo needs to be at Koforidua because you issued a transfer letter to him. I don't want to be publishing transfer letters here. I don't want to get dirty. I am protecting a government. I am trying to protect this country. And if you don't want problems, I know, say, your integrity is very important to you. I have eyes at the headquarters. I don't want to see Edubofo there. Give him back his transfer letter and let him go back to Koforidua, or else you will not like me. All right. Now, Mahmoud Bawumia make a statement to me. And before we speak on that statement, as I said, the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, and the Okasa UN General Assembly meeting. And Okansembe Bria, I think I'm going to play a few of his statements, Na me jujum. We are na Bawumia aka statement be na ma correct Bawumia because Bawumia no oye trufo into oman too much room ana oman too much chain one hwa wati chain no ko. Into right now no ye the chain at 29 but still or press over free chain nim. Into me ba be board John Mahama and send me okano UN in there. Na me nya abutre jujum magana for ehu the president ne kan ye we are na ma react to Bawumia in sama waka. This is the President of the Republic. Oka kasebi efa eye Palestinian for any Jew for ana Israel for and tokwana omokono and yehu aman for ana aman penny for bibria omko UN they were running away from the subject. John Mahama basically today spoke on the issue and was concerned about the humanitarian part of it. Ono bibiana okasa free no anasa the point no eye emma enkwara sebio omo both sides especially omo more Palestine ye ku omo e wo say you make sure say sebio ebi mo ha omo nka kono ho inti aman penifo mo wiase nyina they need to understand say it's about time we call a spade na yenka no kure no na sebio omo ayeku mo Palestinian fo kuro nim no omo nso no ye nyina yakasa ama emma enkwara ene sebio emrewa omo nka okuo no ho no so omo ho atomo we John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana.
The denial of visas to President Abbas and the Palestinian delegation sets a bad precedent and should be deeply worrying to all member nations of the United Nations. Ghana recognized the state of Palestine in 1988 and supported a two-state solution to the conflict since then. And I say, contrary to the claims of some, a two-state solution would not be a reward for Hamas. It will rather be a reprieve for the hundreds of thousands of innocent women and children and people who are facing collective punishment and forced starvation for no reason other than the fact that they are Palestinian. For nearly 2 years and for the fear of reprisals, we here in this General Assembly have been playing hide and seek with language to find the right words to help us avoid or excuse what we all know is taking place in Gaza. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter what you call it. If it looks like a duck, it swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, well, then it must be a duck. The crimes in Gaza must stop.
President John Dramani Mahama and the Ekasa Ewo UN General Assembly no omani clear ewiase impenifo nyina say entokwa ekoso ewo Gaza Palestinian folk krom no entokwa bia e wose nyina kasetia sebio Ghana oman a Palestine folk krom no yenso yagitum se kro na ose amam penifo ni bi ayo madwene se so ebeka santokwa no ho asem a also make sure say entokwa no mo ka ho asem no ensiesi a ebeboa Palestinian fo no enye se bia omakogina afa bi na omoma Palestinian fo no ho kire omo ose de yakura wo mu ni say UN General Assembly ayehie Palestinian fo panyini a oda no a sebio nka also no so ba America ebeka na no asem ene de ni kuro ekomu a ende ye deny ne visa went to member America no ose eno kura na ya efi say sa asem asi na se afa baako tumi ba beka na asem na afa baako no de ye deny ni panyini se ombra beka na asem a na je se ye nyanka se ye UN no ye ntumi endi no kura enkyere ye ho ye ntumi enka no kura enkyere ye ho oye nipa bi a sebio ogina Ghana fo anem Palestinian kuro ye kuro bi a sebio nipa omuwo mu no ehia no enkwara embrewa impenifo ene ekuro no ankasa no ehia no the same as ekuro bia ewo asase su bia ehia no enti sa asama ba na se ekuro mienu enya entokwa e wo se ye make sure se obi aka na asama yetie se ne be ya nyina betuma atena se na ya pa bebi a asem no nokoreda na ya tea de odi bone ene de odi bem nanso yeka obi ekasabo ahye ne yem na ye ma nipa bi eye o madwene se omo betumi atietia Palestinian for de fan wodi hu a ono de as the president of Ghana no ne ninje ho o ka akire UN for se won se sebio amotie bi ba se won se ne tiri ho ayehyen se won se witua no se won se o fake accent se won se sa nipa no omu nipa se won se sa nipa no oye nipa bi a oye tuturani se won se sa amotie no oye tum se won se sa amotia no sebio ne katire mebutu se sa amotia ne nipa bi a sebio ne nigi sika ho ne nigi kro ho a na se won hu ne ye na oba o se wa adwene bu se sa amotia no ye kufuado o se when it walks like a duck when it swims like a duck o se eye bibi sa na se won hu se eba o se bibi e ka kire o se won hu amotia no nam sumu ba na o etia won amotia na se tiri ho ehyen won amotia no na se sebio ne nigi sika sam ho sa amotia no epewi sa amotia ne munipa sa amotia ne fake accent sa won sa amotia ne ba no wemuna na sebio sa amotia no o etia enye obi na so ka kire sa amotia ne yekufuado nti o se amampanifo ni nyina yentena se na yandwene ma ya adwene nkwa ekire hu se sa anamon na UN itu no ya anamon bi a Ghana ene ewiasa fa ne nyina etia. Mr. President esa ekasafa eye ebibrim ha anase eye Africa.
It has famously been written that past is prologue. Well, in the past, the majority of the 54 nations that now comprise Africa were never offered a seat at the table where plans for a new world order were being drawn. But, Madam President, as fate would have it, the tables are turning, and Africa's role in the authorship of whatever is yet to come for this world is going to be huge, and it will be consequential. According to this organization's own projections, by the year 2050, more than 25% of the world's population is expected to come from the African continent. Additionally, by 2050, 1/3 of all young people aged between 15 to 24 will be residing on the African continent. So you see, the future of this world is African. Allow me to say this once again a little louder for those of you in the back. The future is African. Already today, Africa is a catalyst for human potential and development, as well as for economic reform and ecological stability. Africa is a catalyst for systemic change. If this reality, which is fact-based and straightforward, seems provocative or unsettling, perhaps it's because you are viewing it through the lens of centuries of filters, colonialism and imperialism, and the resulting implicit bias. Maybe you are unaware of the resilience of African nations or their remarkable ability to make a strong comeback just when you think it's safe to count them out. That is what is happening right now in my own country, Ghana.
Mr. President, take us and I'll say, Mu Mwishemo UN Hanyina, Beso Kachre, Eye Ewiase, any UN in Pedifunia, we shall say, Eye Dachino, on your Bruni, Dachino, on your Chinese ni, Dachino, and your Caucasian. Or said Dachino eye bibini or free bibi for krum or ye African. Or said Dachina ye hunwa ye tiha yes in some way I was here cano. And this obia etoto de Africa and as ebu Africa nimtia. Or say or share a mebuno senia omaji penny say in the years to come omobe to me adane eye ewiase ewiase nyina eba si eye den ebibrem anas Africa kon ho no o se owogidie na ebeye UN any ewiase nyina wanwa say in the next year anas emfia edi anim no ewiase nyina ba gina Africa kon ho na sebio se nipa bi wa ha ana nipa bi wo wiase na so mu bu Africa nimtia ana bomfia ono John Dramani Mahama o ka say the future anas sebio daachi na dey anim no se daachi no hia na busan se wo free hia obeka say me ye bibrem ni me Africa ni. If you say when it comes to a wiase inkabom and chechiriye abefo broni science and a wiase the new world or say African be di anim if you say onu we hu ɛna wɔn sɛ ɛyɛ Africa no bibia ɛma ewiase yɛ wiase bia na ɛhɔ ne free na ɔto ne num tuo ɛwɔ UN aka kyerɛ mpanyinfo bɔ hɔ nyinaa sɛ mɛmma ɔmo ndwene ho da sɛ obi bɛbu ɛyɛ deɛ Africa nim tia anase obebu Africa ɛyɛ deɛ bomfia na mbebunu na ɔmo ba no yɛ mbebunu bi a ɔmo asakra ɔmo adwene agye pene sɛ ɔmo di ewiase ebesi ɔmo kɔn ho adane ewiase ma ɛyɛ ewiase nyinaa abegyina ɛyɛ Africa so nti ɔsakan yɛ ɔsesa mekan na mo ante a sɛ bi ebi a mo wɔ akyire ɔno mo ante daakye wiase no daakye mpuntuo no yɛbɛfrɛ no sɛ ɛyɛ deɛ bibrim anase African efiri sɛ ɔno deɛ ɔgyidi na oji kwa Nkrumah so di na oji eye ebibifo mbebunu di se eye Ghana Africa a ye nyina ye ebibifo no ye de wiase ebesi e kon ho na enche na asema oken o se debi ene ye de ne bo ebema no John Dramani Mahama esa ka bibifa eye ohaw ene asohye Africa for ye fem.
We'll continue to welcome foreign investment, but we must negotiate better for a bigger share of the natural resources that belong to us. And we must insist on value addition to these resources. We're tired of the continued image of poverty-stricken, disease-ridden rural communities living at the periphery of huge foreign-controlled natural resource concession areas. We're tired of having people extract the most they can from us and in return offer us the very least by way of respect, consideration, and dignity. We're tired of not being represented in ways that reveal the richness and complexity of our history or acknowledge all that we have overcome to arrive here in this liminal space of untold possibilities.
O say, on the ojema kachre ewiase nyina ani penifo omuhia ho say Africa ye de say why wadwe say on ba be di dwuma ye bie ye kwan ye bie ye pono anyone can come and invest in Africa but so osimu dua say emredu se or se ewiase te ase se wo ba na oni ebedi dwuma yene agudie yene agapade de yete so no e wo se yene ene ye kirew de wo se ofa ene de wo se ka ye ho o se imredu se ye bema ewiase ate ase se sa eye de edin na omode atu yeso se ye ho kire e kom da ye so ye de ye yankofo bi a ya pratete ye ni enimonyam no o se sa de no e wo se twam efiri se ewiase nyina no e koso no nyina no e ye gudie ene emfaso a aman a wo wiase enya free Africa na yesi a no se ye ni Africa so ye beka ye to atwom na emom yanka se mo bia ne ye mbe adwuma na wo bo utirim se oni eba be ye adwuma e wo se oti ase se adwuma dia oni ebedi no emfaso kese no e wo se eka ye ho o se imra na edu se imra duru se eye imbibremfo eba Africa se omuni ebedi edwa nsawoso a oso omni hye omutirim se enya ade a omoba abenya omo adi sebio meka so omo ho adi a ebetwa edi anase omo ebubu ya faso se ye ne obedi dwuma ye ne obedi dwuma ewa komapem na so ye ne wundi dwuma anase ye ne wo enko eye de adwumadiem abra ye ho be kire ye o se edum pempenso a wo se wiase te ase se Africa na ye ka kire sebio broni ana se ebia abrofo a o madwene am se ye Africa fo bia ye titi nnua so e kom de ye ni bebi te ye ho kire ye ni nsunum no o se saa nyoma no e wo se ende esutwa every say ye ni ebibrimfo de ye wo no abrofo no mu bi enti se man madwene som ne ye be adwuma monti ase se dwuma dia mu ne ye bedi no emu mfaso kase no ye beka ye to atwem ama na kai krom eno na John Dramani Mahama ejina UN General Assembly e ka cha brofo ni nyina se omofa nto omutirim ono de odo obia te se Kwame Nkrumah obia ni obia ndi dwuma mbom nanso mema obi enya na adwene se obetumi etwi obi edi anase obetumi afa koti kwan so afa obi egudie anase age obi nsem sika ana age Africa ni bia di nsem sika o se nyoma asesa John Mahama eka bibifa eye Ghana oye president sebio ye economy ene se ne nyoma so eko ha ode eye emfato ho ema Africa fo ene ewiase mpanifo nyina hu se so mo pese mo hu se Africa ya ba beduru bebi mpempenso bi a ye nyanka se betumi ahwe ye ho ye betumi atoto ye nyoma age ye kuresi wo ama sebio ye mbabunu ye mba ene ye mbema enya bebi agina o se opese ewiase ti ase se time a obeji eye de afena so obedi president of Ghana the second time ya eye the first term no o say ehona wabegye di say ye Africa for imbibremu for a ye betumi adane ye kra ye betumi asesa ye hyebre o ye betumi a reset e de Africa no o de Ghana ye mfato ho e no cheche mu kire abrofo no say de wetumi aye de na ban krampo etumi aye in this short 8 months I will be the president senior ahokeka every onwane party mu Ghana for mebunu ene Ghana for omagye atum say omo bedi dwuma abo omo man no ene ye sika sam senior na asai tama na MPP wo so a wo motumi ye nyina tumi adane Ghana man no mana begina baby papa ama ende dum so ni ho ene ye sika sam afa ne tuma pefra ene Ghana obi ehu se ye nyoma ekoye no o se eno ene hye na rehemu ema ewiase nyina hu se Ghana die yetumi aya ende Africa betuma ye John Dramani Mahama ejina eye UN esa akirechire mu sei.
My new administration settled down quickly and embarked on an ambitious program of comprehensive transformation designed to restructure Ghana's economic foundation and enhance our competitive standing globally. We refer to this process of recalibration as our reset agenda. In just 8 months, we have achieved significant reduction in inflation from 23.8% in December 2024 to 11.5% in August 2025, restoring price stability for our citizens. Additionally, our currency, the Ghana cedi, has appreciated considerably against other currencies, with Bloomberg reporting it as the best performing currency in the world at one point. Our improved sovereign credit rating reflects increasing investor confidence in our economy. And our 24-hour economy initiative promises to transform our economy. And there's a renewed willingness amongst our people to trust that their elected officials have Ghana's interests at heart and that we're progressing together. My new administration settled down quickly and embarked on an ambitious program of comprehensive transformation designed to restructure Ghana's economic foundation and enhance our competitive standing globally. We refer to this process of recalibration as our reset agenda. In just 8 months, we have achieved significant reduction in inflation from 23.8% in December 2024 to 11.5% in August 2025, restoring price stability for our citizens. Additionally, our currency, the Ghana cedi, has appreciated considerably against other currencies, with Bloomberg reporting it as the best performing currency in the world at one point. Our improved sovereign credit rating reflects increasing investor confidence in our economy. And our 24-hour economy initiative promises to transform our economy. And there's a renewed willingness amongst our people to trust that their elected officials have Ghana's interests at heart and that we're progressing together. My new administration settled down quickly.
And okay, no. Say, inti dia watumi aye ene de na aban tumi aye ene de Ghana fo aboa no ma etumi adane Ghana hyebre abesi impempensuo bi a ende ewiase afa ne nyina no omohwe esikasam ye man totoye ye gidie ene de Ghana ye kɔ enim ye na ɔse ɛma na rehwemu se Africa mema ewiase entoto Africa ase. Nemum also obi ate ase se Ghana yetumi aye na esikasam egina hɔ na ende dum so ni hɔ ende inflation abafom ende eye de interest rate abafom ende amanfo enye adwuma ende Ghana ye gold sam sebio ye ka say yetumi bɔ ho ban ema ye stop galam say ende Ghana baby ye dui bibia ekoye no ɔse ɛno ɔse kyerɛ wo sɛ etirimu pɔ sɛ ɛyɛ na gyina ne naso na ugidi sɛ obetuma bibia sɛ ne ɔno ene ne nkɔfoɔ Ghana foɔ etimi abɔ butirimu pɔ ayɛ dwumaden adane Ghana hyebre abedum pempenso a bibia kɔ so no ɔse onim sɛ Africa sa reset agenda no enu bi na ɛwɔ Africa nti wiase afa ne pedifo nyina nti ase sɛ Africa afa ne ntoma pefra ya ready senia ono etu abnamon ama ni kro Ghana edi nechi ama na mon aya na monpa no onim se African penifo ene Ghana African penifo ene mbebu no nyina enso aye krado se omo be make sure se eye Africa eye continent no ene so be fa ne ntoma pa efra. Now John Mahama eka bibi efa emma ho sebio unim John Mahama ono ene the first president of the Republic of Ghana or the oba abe the vice president na bi nsi da. Enti se eba eye emayiwa emma ehudie ene se ne ombo so kasa ebeba bedwom na ye bebu omo a untumi nyi John Mahama abra onbo na baso. John Mahama kire African leaders bebre say emma eye a vital or a very important part of the building of the African continent. Intende okabibi efa eye emma ho or de ono nkasa ne ba eye de ba odono eye obaba fefefe eka kire wiase say me baba we kurampo no ema me nkranhye ema ewiase ma me hu se eye debi no eye UN we no oba bebe di enim every say the priority nyina ne se sebio ye benya emma dodo no ema oma eden edi ewiase so because abadaye ene esebio eye akoma pa emma kuta no osese ema emma so kwan na mo betena pono no so na mo ne mbema epre na ye nyina adwendwene oman ene ewiase ho a ebema ewiase abaye bebi pa ye nyina yakoma beto eyem oka bibi enso efa eye emma eho senia ye bema emma so akwanya momo so asom ewiase ewo the biggest positions on the planet.
Allow me to echo the Indian-American writer Arundhati Roy, who wrote, "Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her briefing." I want to add that for the sake of Africa, and quite selfishly for the sake of my 18-year-old daughter, I hope that this new world that is arriving is a place of safety and equality for women and girls. To succeed, we must empower everyone, including women and girls, to reach their full potential. In closing, Madam President, I'd like to congratulate you on your election to preside over this historic 80th General Assembly and on being the 5th woman to hold this distinction. I'd also like to congratulate Her Excellency Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman on being the first woman Vice President of Ghana. Now every Ghanaian girl knows the heights to which she can ascend. Words matter, but issues of representation matter even more, which is why Ghana looks forward to the appointment of a woman as Secretary General of this organization in the near future.
Ena okaina otu ninumutu o say eye ebend de said that no eye United Nations eye organization kakraka we oba na beda no o say de ene de emanya Nkrumah'S ekasa asemwe ene ono an Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman oba Ghana eye Republic of Ghana ono ne eye sebio oba na adwumu do a be the first eye Vice President of the Republic of Ghana or the Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman ni sua de ni huna de wohu experience any believer ede maame no abedu sam pempenso na onya agidie wonimu ebe the Vice President no o se ohun sa agidie no e wo ne baba sebio wodi imfie edum wotwe 18 ena ohun sa agidie no wo oba bia mu e wo Ghana ene ewiase ene Africa fe ne nyina na owo gidie ena owo arehemu se debi no eye UN General Assembly no oba ene bedi anim se ne be ya ewiase behu se ema so aba omaba pono no so na omoso be kire omadwene eme akekere eye Ghana ene ewiase ene sebio eye continent we wiase nyina ama ye nyina ye nya asomdwe John Dramani Mahama ende wakasa eme wiase hu adwiri om hiye ende wokwa abrofo no nyina ebusa this guy is unique, this guy is very intelligent, this is a very bold Africanist, this guy looks like Nkrumah, he has Nkrumah in him. Abrofo no nyina ededawma no, we have never seen something like this. This is the first time at the UN General Assembly that a president from Africa has spoken straightforward in our faces. He spoke about the Palestinian war, he spoke about women's rights, he spoke about African youth, he spoke about development, reset of Africa. This guy is a very bold, intelligent visionary. Abrofo ni nyina keka udu corridors of the UN. Ubias Risvinano, Uchemam Mr. President. Mr. President. Who is he? His name is John Dramani Mahama. Where is he from? He's from the Gonja area of Ghana. The people are very smart and intelligent. The people are like, we want to come and see the Gonja king. They said the king is also a very, very wonderful man, very accommodative, very hospitable, a very intelligent king in the Gonja land. His descendant is John Dramani Mahama. Wonderful people with great heart. The whites, the Europeans, all the Asians were very shocked. They said, this is Nkrumah. We are seeing Nkrumah in a second light. This is what we say. John Dramani Mahama, he is the hope. We believe in him. We believe in the NDC. And John Mahama, as he said, the prrr. This is to the NDC for giving us a very wonderful, intelligent man who is bold, honest, intelligent, and who is straightforward. We really appreciate the NDC and we really believe in you guys. The NDC, God bless you. Mesemo as Ghana, ahemfo, mma, nkwara, politicians, sebio enifrafo, ebubuafo, at a point in your life, all of you will get on the streets, you will fight to keep John Mahama in power. Makachirem. Remember 3 years spare. You all will get on the streets of Ghana and say, we will not allow John Mahama to step down. You will force John Mahama to rule. Me say ahemfo, ebubuafo, enifrafo, embrewa, enkwara, apemfo, policefo, sojaфо, Ghana-fo will come together and hit the street of Ghana and say, what we have seen in this man, we are not going to allow him to step down. It will be decided by you. I don't have the power to decide. You have the power to decide. But in the menu idea, a juma na ye. Momayembo juma. Momayantichire Ghana. Arrival departure. Yaba ne yebeko ne brofo no yedru yebeka ho asem. And when the time comes, yeni ankasa Ghana for will decide who will rule Ghana. Inti dedede de amanfo beye. But the voice of the people is the voice of God. The voice of the people will be the voice of God. Siatia. All right, moment to us. In the John Mahama Kasaye and or can send be breaker or can be far a year adiaba kwa affect Africa a year ya Africa for Japanese slave trade. Say befa ya nanom edi obokwa bruchiri sibio yedi ebimu fa ya umu or say ayadia sibio ehanpa adia so sibio edin say yene Africa for ye betumi aka say ye refi adia bia yekoda ye so ho daye enya de bia ye betuma ka se ere fi sa akwa o ka kire abrofo no ewo ho say eba slave trade dia ade bia ye ne ya pa ade bia ye Africa for ya sebio se ne tete ye nananom ye fa o mu bi ekoye o mu ayade nti eno so ye nsam o kan ye John Mahama kasa no ka bibi fa eye se ne COVID-19 ba ya sebio eye ewiase sikasem aman bebre sikasem ese ya onim se eye COVID-19 no sebio ye nyina ye nim ye kenkan ye se eba ye no ebeka ewiase afa na nyina na mom omo anom nim nyansa ne tumi kyekyere omukro omo agimi no na omo fa ho edidi Ghana edidi wiase sika na John Mahama kasa dum no oka asasem no na eye abozege ba omia sebio na adwene enko akire sebio on time kai de waye sebio nenim wade a sebio na adwene ense Ghana fo agimi nti odimirika be kasa se hey motiye John Mahama kasa no o se COVID-19 no sebio ese wiase nyina sikasem momenko tie eye ba omia asema o kaye na menkyere obebi aba omia e fall short when it comes to reasoning
na niema bo akosoro pa from 2022 COVID impacts no e bae no Ukraine war and COVID ema niema bo ekosoro 2024 election mo nyina mo kai say na ye ka say abdia esi ye no na niema bo ekosoro Ghana henyina eye COVID na ebaye ema nipa nema bo ekosoro any Russia Ukraine war ye ka saade no omampanyi Mahama ne NDC omoka say ye twantro omo say COVID insan nimu at all enya sa no omoka ye omo say economic mismanagement enya sa no omoka ye say COVID enye a factor. Me say me can say I think nra ena omampanyi echo New York ena omo okoka say Africa nyina niema bo echo soro because of COVID. Semot mwati or say COVID ninti ena niema bo echo soro or say a lot of your effort reduce poverty over 10 years or 20 years. COVID no edi sa effort ni nyina abaform in just 2 years. Sa no kind. Enti sa onim sa but wanka election no. Enye sa onim ni kreno ba wanka yen yehu problem no. Omo ehu problem no enti nyame adom obi abehu bebi anekore ne da enti 2028 yensesan ya adwen yemfa emma Dr. Baumia ene MP
Baumia was problem with a year comprehension. Baumia's problem in life is when he see a lot of people, he's not able to maintain his composure. Baumia's biggest problem in life is to sit, absorb, process before he speaks. Now, Baumia Kasano or see President Mahama Kasa New York or see COVID by no. If we are suffering na a can be economy, a can Africa, a can Asia, a can Americas, a can Europe. Now, Adia Mahmoud Baumia epese or this year MPP for Mukos could do GS as Adomojane say. Onimse MPP for Jimmy. Now, it's as simple as that. Nobody denied the say COVID by no anka economies. Nobody around the world. John Mahama Njina baby anka say COVID-19 did not affect economies around the world. He never said that. John Mahama and NDC for Air Kasana almost say you people took advantage of the COVID to mismanage your economy. You took advantage of the COVID to steal from Ghanaians. That is why after COVID, countries like Togo, countries like Cote d'Ivoire, countries like Iran, countries Sudan, near expect to say they will be drowning in debt. You know, those countries were doing better than us. It wasn't because they did not also face COVID. It was because they, at the end of the day, did not lie to their people. They did not take advantage of COVID money to steal from the people. Enti na John Mahama wo position no na oka kire mo say ade a mo di COVID any Russia Ukraine war ne ne say You are hiding behind Ukraine and COVID to steal from the people. And when we were in Ghana, when you were in power, we saw it black and white. How the NPP are now leading. Omu use COVID-19 sika mumubi plus you any group no muria COVID-19 sika. At a point, your party faithfuls were bold enough to make statements in public. Say, yes, COVID-19 sika no ebinyaya as much as 100,000 cedis, $100,000. Inti John Mahama ni NDC for ni Ghana for they were saying say, ede na COVID ba na ewiase sika tem nyina say na COVID koye Togo jina ne naso. Cote d'Ivoire jane naso, Benin jane naso, Sudan jane naso. Na muda wote Ghana blame COVID. It means say one sika munya from World Bank, IMF, any donors, you know, you people with the big mouth like your anus, you know, you people squandered the money. Na John Mahama ni NDC ni Ghana for kaje say manoso manono esochen moto to kru. Inti sikebia bebe na mudi. Ne ti Nkrumah. But and I'm going to say the processing, the way he processed things, you know, and then the man bre was so. When people speak, he doesn't take his time to analyze, process it, and send a free nanwaba. In today, Bianobeka say, you know, who say he is not there yet. Akakakra, akanaipe. Into John Mahama NDC and the Ghana for you now were complaining, say, hey, dying because before 2022, COVID-19 hit, you know. Mokach say or Ghana hanyina say our economy is resilient. Your sika my buffers near strong. Nothing can shake the foundation of our economy. But COVID hit you know. Ghana but right after COVID, the same countries here go through that economic turmoil. No, they were all recovering. Why were we not recovering? Our money was still going up. The dollar was still rising. You were in charge of the economic management team. You were in Ghana. You could not give us any answer. In fact, at a point, you, Baumia, refused to speak on the economy. You, this toy. You, this comedian. At a point in time in our history, you, as the head of the economic management team, you refused to speak on the economy. You refused to speak on the dollar. You refused to speak on everything because you thought we were stupid. We will forget, and then later we will go line up and vote for a clown like you. Near Ghana ha, and a COVID-19 time, you Mahmoud Baumia, Mwankasamo party for a year bold. Baumia, you are a catfish. Baumia is a catfish. Near Ghana ha, 31st of May 2022. That was the time. Near Nina Yewu, Yebre, Mosi COVID-19 aba, Yesika Sama say, 31st of May 2022. I received 100,000 Ghana cedis from COVID-19 fund. NPP parliamentary candidate claims. Obawe jina eye NPP fuenum ka say ono nkwampo onya tete Ghana sika no 1 billion COVID-19 sika Obawe. She said it publicly. Okachire obia o Ghana say sika miminya ye no. In fact, there is an audio. Baumia we a catfish.
And Alasan, I think last month or so, he made another comment. And as usual, people will say that, oh, madam, you are above it, don't talk. But let me tell you, if somebody closes his eyes to damage you, there is nothing like you are above responding to such a person. That one day, I will not take it. I will also have to come out and explain myself. If that makes me a bad leader, fine. But I will have to explain myself. And I know there are descendant people on this platform who will listen and do their own investigations. The COVID fund came. I was given 50,000. Oh. My quota was 50,000 as a regional second vice. Then, who doubles as a parliamentary candidate for Sanargu? I had another 50,000 cedis, making it 100,000. Then the constituency were given, is it 200,000 or so? I can't remember. So I called for, and MCU was given 30,000. I can't remember. Then Chama was given 20,000, and I think the other executives did 10,000, or was it Chama was giving 10,000? But I can't remember. So I called them to a meeting. I called the constituency executive to a meeting. And I told them that, fine, for me, I am going to add all the 100,000 that I am entitled to the constituency. Listen, I am handing over all my 100,000 to the constituency money. I didn't ask any executive to add his money to what I was going to give to the women. I handed over the forms and everybody to the team, and we went round and we did the disbursement. The next step was, I have taken police station executives' money and I want to spend that money. My 100,000, not even one that I filled for somebody in my house. Not even one that I filled for a member of my team. Secretary, Karamba, Polo, Chairman, they were in charge. After that, the form and everything was not given to me. They sent it straight to regional secretary, and regional secretary sent it to Accra directly. So my brothers, where did I spend the money? When I even added everything, not even a peso I took from it. What kind of propaganda is this? What kind of propaganda is this? So please, let's learn to tell each other the truth. You may not like me, but when you are talking about the things I have done, talk about the truth. If you respond with lies, I will come back and counter, because I will not keep quiet. It is only a dead body that you can lie on. I will not keep quiet to say that, oh, a leader there, you don't have to talk. A leader there, you don't have to talk. A leader, you don't have to talk, and somebody is always destroying you. I will talk.
So you see, Mahamudu Bawumia, I'm reminding Bawumia of what they used the COVID money for. Sikana mu party for parliamentary candidates. And Muria Sikano. Mahama said, Mahama and Ghanaians were complaining because the COVID-19 money, you and your parliamentary candidates, you were stealing it. You have no shame. You are a catfish. We are catfish. You don't wait. MPP for. Let me remind you of the things you used the COVID-19 money for. The reason why we were mad at you people. Now, these are some of the things you use the money for. Nkrumah, Information Ministry led by Kojo Nkrumah. Information Ministry paid itself 151,000 cedis as COVID-19 allowance for working during lockdown. Kojo Nkrumah tiano 1.5 billion old Ghana for working during COVID-19 lockdown. One call officer, not TFA. Auditor General's report. Kojo Nkrumah, you MPP for Bawumia. Kojo Nkrumah is an integral member of your campaign. When you become president, you will give Kojo Nkrumah a position. That is why they are all following you. Because all these people were part of the people who embezzled COVID-19 funds. Who are you to talk about COVID-19, Bawumia? You, Bawumia, who are you to talk about COVID-19? You are a catfish. You have no shame. You are an embarrassment to the Islamic religion. I am showing you what you did with the COVID-19 money. That is why Ghanaians were complaining. That is why John Mahama, when he was former president, was telling you people that you are lying. It is not about you, the economy. It's about misuse of the money. It is about you people stealing the money. Kojo Nkrumah we in Ghana, Otiano Huka 1.5 billion Auditor General's report. And on an Ghana, o pia sa Bawumia be the president. Na o Bawumia be the president bima. Na upon Nkrumah na set na COVID-19 sika omudi omunsa bomu no, they will get another position again. That is all that you people are doing. You are retraining the people who took us for granted. Those people who came to steal from us. That is why majority of them do it. Because they know. That is why today, all MPs, you have opened your register to bring former MPs, former chairmen, so that they will help you rig your primaries for you to bring them back. That is all that they are doing. They have tested money. They have tasted crime. They have tasted corruption. It is sweet. These boys, they have tasted crime before. They have tasted their corruption. They know, sir, when you are in charge, as dumb as you are, they will be able to taste corruption again. That is why they are all following you. These are the things you did with the COVID-19 money. We are reminding you, you have no moral right to speak on COVID-19 under your leadership. Frontier earned over $87 million, while government got under $7 million from COVID-19 testing at Kotoka International Airport. Frontier, Yabusa Osla during vetting say Frontier company na ewo Kotoka na ejiji Ghana fosika no why they are also onim. Yabusa National Security Boss Kandapa also onim. Yabusa Information Minister also onim. Yabusa Oba Omia. Nobody told us say Frontier eyekufu de busuan for there. You ba Omia, you knew. Frontier for Edge Ghana for some sika $87 million. You knew all these things. You were part of the committee. You were part of the cabinet that gave Air Frontier the contract. This is COVID-19 money you embezzled. You people received 21.84 billion Ghana cedis COVID-19 funds. almost 22 billion. You Baumia, you are an embarrassment. You are a catfish. Also, Mahama said, I COVID by no, if you ask me, mu received 21, almost 22 billion. What did you do with the money? And they was Baumia say 22 billion. Then I'm there, then 22 billion. After 22 billion, not cedi no dollar no was 1782. After receiving 22 billion COVID-19 funds, Sika for the Ghana, World Bank, IMF, Ghana for Amuji Sika, foreign donors, more receiving 22 billion. Maybe say 22 billion. What did you do then, Obeka? What did you do with the 22 billion? Why one who said the okay Quran? Uzbekistan abejina kachire say, I and Amanda da a president no onim no kura no kura bain. Utimu shines a torch. No kura bain. No kura bain. And I want to Ghana na concert. What to Ghana na concert in some hunu 22 billion Frontier for 87 million under your watch. You can't even tell us who Frontier Nidia. We asked Osla, we asked Kandapa, we asked everybody, the health minister, Menu, Jotinino. He could not tell us Frontier Dipa Nidia, Nina Neku for the Bushan for dia. And the Ujina, wash your boxer shot back and say Munacha Ghana for say, I no crabbe daddy, in Tiantam Ghana Mount. In Tianya Day, Yamamba president. Now you're makeup artist now, Mumma Day. Now let me show you this. You see, COVID-19, $81 million worth of vaccines paid for was not delivered. Auditor General's report. Motam Ghana for sika $81 million. Somebody a could tia vaccine. Yemfambe wa Ghana for ebe sinne. The Attorney General is looking into it. Woba umia. You have the moral right to discuss COVID-19. Now on faria de on. Ba we be for. Ba umia we be for. Sanka onya be for. Anka on bia wanumpo nka COVID-19 ho asem. Say COVID-19 e say Ghana $81 million ebe sinne. Moka asem reto vaccines abe woye. Moko fa poison be wo Ghana for. Oti Ghana afa Mike eyi anu hu win. Abegina o essaying. Yanya den inti yama ombedi president yama Kennedy medi president inti yama MPP power inti dia mo yade yanya den yantam to me ma wana na be den. You were charging bogus $150 at the airport per person. Obia ura Ghana airport at $150. Ghana for tie mu kasaye titru enkwasiafo bogus na mu di MPP chi se enwan no na mu kam fin. Oh, yeah, dear. Over the day, at the end of the MPP in 9 Mugua Broche, a title Germany for Sanquasia from the MPP, Chino, fin. Omuduko toka no muniso atwa omutiti Nkrumah'S Germany. Omuduko toka airporta ubesimuno aye NDC ne sie ne emomu hu nyansa sa Broche na wote no wabeduru Ghana. Enkwasia 40 se MPP moje Ghana fo hu sika nyina die wasa begina ho eyiwa no hu nwia no patututu be ka kire se ai COVID-19 ena ma nwoma boye din eni ntina na mo se nwoma boye din COVID-19 nti Na COVID-19 ska odi yeden. Now, mume yenwura eye jakpa. Bawumia a catfish. Mamufan is serious. Bawumia is a catfish. Don't take Bawumia serious. One sec.
Se wani kuma kokoda. Se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho baye den eman. Se wani kuma kokoda. Se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho baye den eman. Se wani kuma kokoda. Se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho baye den eman. Se wani kuma kokoda. Se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho baye den eman. Se wani kuma kokoda. Se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho baye den eman. Se wani kuma kokoda. Se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho baye den eman. Se wani kuma kokoda. Se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission.
So wani kuma kokona koda. Anytime we be amobia. Now, Jakpa petitions CID to investigate Dame for alleged evidence fabrication in ambulance case. And yen yina to say a year Mr. Jakpa wako a year the police ako lodge complain. Say opese emra ewo Ghana ni ejuma. Opese pepe yo eda bibia o se koda. Yen tumi ntina krum abra ye suspect say obia ye bibia emfa kwan mu na sa nipa no ye jana mananante yentumi ye selective about who the law at the end of the day it deals with. Now the decision Jakpa taking a very good decision because said Godfrey Dame nipa bia opese o cleaning ho off the crime I say wa committee allegedly. Godfrey Dame will be happy that Jakpa is telling the CID to investigate this matter. During the ambulance trial, no, say during the trial, no, Godfrey Dame efre Jakpa, Emma Jakpa de recording no. Now in the conversation, no, Godfrey Dame try say obe ne Jakpa say Jakpa enko twan trobi na M1 case na ontumi angeli atoforcing. In the conversation between Godfrey Dame and na former attorney general, na omudi sankomo no na case reader who court. Godfrey Dame and the lead prosecutor. Ono na ode de Jakpa ejina court ode attorney general court say opese abandi omkoto efiase na nso Godfrey Dame fa akoti kwan so efre Jakpa e wo phone so na opese okoakwa anase odane dane asem no oforce Jakpa ma Jakpa ekotwa tro se ne be ya at the end of the day no ye de ato forcing ebeko jail inti asem no ye di mu an ekohu sedabi de attorney general ye no etiamra na nso na judge ote asem no so judge na oti case no so no sebio de Ghana for catch judge ni nyina say judge yesrew sa asem we asem bia wo court na asem wo court no den na attorney general a me no ka say odi asem anim etumi efre nipa na odi gina court a wo say sebio webu mra so no na attorney general no etumi efa koti kwan so try say obedada no say nipa no nkotwa atro na yentumi fa Ghana ni ntum. Judge we your friend madam ana efia sewa asaribotwe maami we enete na ote saa asem no so impempenso bi Ghana fo nyina bufu se na maami judge attorney general Ghana sebio eba emra aban lawyer ono na di anim no webu mra so na emra na obusu no enye bosremuka emra webusu a eho engina so ana evidence wo ho. So you are supposed to take action. Unless you, the judge, you are basically conniving with the attorney general to break the law. In Tamagana for brave bufuye. Eka say den attorney general what asem so. Utumi fa kotikwan so na wo frɛ omo wa asem nim na o ka kyerɛ mo sɛ omo nkotwa tro na wa asem nyɛ de. Sa asem ya mi ken ya Jakpa and the audio comma police say yentu yensa emfra den attorney general na yentoto nano na yenhu asem no sebio se de na ono ka no no kra every say o wadanse. Now so refia this was a conversation a transfer between Jakpa and the attorney general Godfrey Dame. Mrs. Do you have the Jakpa Godfrey Dame conversation? If you are Ghana for nam refi. Because Mr. P, do you have the conversation? I don't have it on the system. Inti Jakpa edisa audio no ebe to abontene ena oma Ghana for nyina eti ase se in some way and in some eye attorney general friend no e kan wo edien eye phone so a opesa Ghana for nyina ehu and mekai say minim say Ghana for bebre mu wafi inti asamwe no se gofreda me nipa bi a oka no kra na se onim se bone a eye Jakpa eka se wedi no ondi ya I am very sure say obepese edien eye CID office no ebeton safre no na sebio wabeso abeka the side of the story say ebia Jakpa asam na oka no Jakpa sebio oditro na eye utie eye conversation na me try abo conversation actually e was say utie ase say time a eye attorney general Efra Jakpa no eye gofredame no na asam no court na asam no yeda hu di na asam no eye den gofredame ababonta beka che Ghana for say opeso jeli atoforsin efri say atoforsin ene Jakpa mo no ambulance contract bi no sebio atoforsin akodi ngine mu ama ne boss eye finance minister no oye na bedi chire akọ sign document ena na Jakpa so ye agent ma company na ede ambulance ne ba ye no inti gofredame ka say ekwan bia so no obejeli eye atoforsin ene Jakpa na enim say the same time no gofredame so enam eye den enam ekwan chire anase onam kotikwan bi so eye den edi inkomo we chire dada eye den eye Jakpa say emedi atro e court na ema na asem nye de se ne be ya obetumi ebua eye den atoforsin for. Now I know some majority of you have forgotten about this audio. Mama yenko tie eye conversation.
You pay only after the goods have been delivered, because that's also the contract, not so.
Yes, but then the financial instrument for the project is an irrevocable letter of credit. So good. So that credit letter has already been sent.
No problem. But in my view, that letter of credit area, the contract requires that you pay by letters of credit, not so.
Yes. In addition, we should establish it upon the sign of the contract. So already you have paid.
Upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance.
Yes. Upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance, since there was no advance mobilization, advance payment, that LC was a security that you have to establish ahead.
No problem. It's on the contract for every 50 ambulance. Is it the contract for every 50 ambulance?
Pardon?
Is it the contract for, I'm saying upon the signing of the contract for every 50 ambulance.
Yes.
Is it the contract for every 50 ambulance?
The contract is for 200 ambulances in tranches of 50.
Good, hold on. So that contract for 50 ambulance is different from this one?
No. It is, the contract is one contract for 200 ambulances, which has been broken down within the contract for every few, you establish LC for every 50 tranche. So you have 4 LCs for the 200 ambulances.
No, that part I disagree with you. But if you look at the terms of the contract, it's quite clear. And it should not be difficult for you to accept, because really it doesn't put you in any problem at all. That does not put you into any difficulty. I don't know the Minister of Health, the Minister of Finance. So for me, if you accept that, then it doesn't put you in any difficulty.
See, the problem I have in accepting that for you, is that in there are letters that confirm that, both from government and from our principal, that is for every 50 ambulances. That confirms that. And I'll be tendering those letters in. So I cannot go against what the letters say and the contracts say, because I was the agent at that time. Japan Business was the agent.
Hold on. LC's on site. Payment shall be in euros. First, we said there shall be no advance payment.
Yes.
What does advance payment mean?
What it means is that you are not the supplier was not going to be paid any cash, any money for him to use in procuring all the accessories and everything to manufacture. So the manufacturer will use his own money to buy the ambulance vans, all the accessories from across the globe, with the security from government being the LC. And the LC has conditions precedent.
Hold on. Okay. Yes, advance payment not mean paying in advance of the delivery of the goods.
They said no advance payment.
Yes, advance payment means that you are paying before the goods are delivered to you.
No, they said no advance payment. Not that there's advance payment. Yes. No advance. Mean that you will not pay.
Yes, until the goods are delivered to you. Also.
Yes.
Yeah, so until the goods are delivered, you don't pay at all.
You don't pay.
Also. So, and then also it goes ahead to say that payments shall be in a free manner. LCs on site of goods. In fact, what is it, even LC on site of goods? What does it mean?
What LC on site of goods means is that when you ship the documents, when you ship the goods, when you ship the goods from your port of origin, the bill of lading of the goods is what you use as
LC on site of goods means means when the goods have been shipped.
They have been shipped.
Not
and then
the goods have been delivered in Ghana.
No, when the goods have been shipped. Because you have gone to do pre-shipment. So what I'm trying to explain is that so you use the bill of lading. You use a bill of lading. You use a bill of lading.
You establish the LCs after pre-shipment inspection. That one. No dispute about that.
No, the LC is established as soon as you sign the contract. You establish the LC, and that becomes the security comfort for the supplier to invest his money.
It says LCs on site of goods are returned upon the signing of the contract.
Yes.
For every 50 ambulances.
Yes.
Yes. Which contract is this? It's not a contract for every 50 ambulances. So in under this main contract, this was like the main contract.
The main contract and LC for every 50 of the 200. You said so. So the contract is not saying that government should establish one LC which is 15.8 million euros for the whole 200 at a go. No, government has a bulk contract of 15.8 million euros. Now this contract will become the ambulance will be coming in tranches of 50 ambulances. So you establish your LC for the 50. When that 50 have been delivered and everything sorted out and handed over, another LC is established for another subsequent 50 until you finish all the 200. That is what the contract says. So the LC that was established.
Even then, hold on. I don't agree with your explanation. But even then, this your explanation. That's not what happened in this case.
Okay, what happened?
Yeah, that's not what happened. Yes, because the LC was established even before pre-shipment inspection.
Yes.
Also,
yes.
There was no pre-shipment inspection. So it should have been. So it means there was no basis for the LC to be established in the first place.
No.
That's really not your problem anyway.
Right, that place, in that particular place, you are getting it wrong. If you may have patience for me to explain to you. You are getting it wrong there because when you establish LC, the LC had conditions precedent for it to be on it. And the condition precedent states that you can only cash the LC when you present shipping documents, which is bill of lading, to the Ghana International Bank of the buyer before the LC can be honored. So even though the LC was established upon the signing of the contract, was supposed to be established upon the signing of the contract, it cannot be cashed or honored. It becomes a form of security for the supplier to invest his own money. And when he ships the ambulances, he can then send a bill of lading to your bankers to then honor the LC, because that is a condition precedent.
But in any case, in this case, even the LC was actually cashed. Everything. That payment was actually made before the goods were shipped.
No.
The goods got to Ghana.
No.
Oh yeah.
He couldn't have the supplier. There is no way under the sun he could have cashed the LC before the shipping document, which were condition precedent, was presented to Ghana International Bank. Even when he presented the document to Ghana International Bank refused to honor the LC, raising issues of discrepancy, which came back to Bank of Ghana, which later went to the Ministry of Health, and then Animana authorized Bank of Ghana through Ministry of Finance to pay because they had sorted out the discrepancies with Big C. That time, around this time, or the ambulances had already arrived in Ghana. You are not privy to this one, I'm telling you.
In my view, if we agree to this theory, it's so simple, the theory of the case.
not agree to the way you want to go, the way you want to go about it.
So you let's agree. Let's describe it that way. Let's describe it that way. Do you want to go about it?
Okay,
you
fine.
Agree this way. For me, it makes it simple.
Yes, it will make
it doesn't also involve. It doesn't involve any difficulty for you.
Yes, I agree. I understand your point. When
you say there's no advancement, yes. When you say there's no advancement, ordinarily meaning in Ghana that you don't pay until you get your goods. Now the contract here, even the clear terms, unless maybe you guys did not draft the contract, it says everything on site of goods shall be established upon the signing of the contract for every future.
No, it was the contract was drafted by government. It was done by government.
Oh, yes.
And it was an AG department perused the contract and approved the contract for government.
It is not a problem whether they approve it. Every contract is actually approved before later when they implement it. Then problems.
You see, what the difficulty I have with your position is that, you see, frankly speaking, fine, as you are saying, if I agree to your position, how you want to go about it and how you want me to go about my answering questions and things, if I go by that way, frankly speaking, I'll be dishonest, because I know that is not how it's supposed to be, and I'll be dishonest in such a way that I'll be assisting for someone I know is completely innocent about this. For example, Ato Forson to be jailed because I knew something was wrong, was not the way, and I decided to keep quiet and to answer the question in a way that will make your case better for you to jail him. I'll be battling with my conscience. That is the problem I'm having. Anytime you bring up this issue with Yoni Kulendi, when I went to Yoni Kulendi's place, anytime you bring this issue, that is my problem I'm having. Because me, for example, I am in this case because I'm innocent and I'm going through ordeal. So I'm looking at another person also going to go through ordeal and through me, because I know the truth and I decide not to say it because I want to help the AG make his case. And I ask myself, what is my interest in it?
I'm not asking you to really help me. I'm just going by it. Anyway, so that's fine. So this one was even just by the way.
I hope you get my difficulty.
It's on the phone. I don't even know that.
Oh no. No, don't worry about that one. My issue. I'm just. Oh no. You and I will be meeting. You'll be meeting me at my cousin's place, and you've been bringing this issue up several times. And I keep telling you that I can't do that because it doesn't sit well with me.
Look at the terms of contract. The terms of contract are simple. At least on site shall be established upon the sign of the contract for every future with us.
Yeah.
Do you answer?
So this is a conversation between Godfrey Dame, Tamoye Attorney General, or the Ato Forson, and the Jakpa Ekojina Court. Say Ghana Court Angeli Ato Forson, and the Jakpa. If you say ambulance be a crab no, na Jakpa company na agent, and na Ato Forson na deputy finance minister. Na Ato Forson the boss, na or yes Setekpe finance minister no, an instruction say so Oma establish LCR on signing it off. Jakpa Ejina Court Attorney General Ejina the name to na no say Angeli no. Na Angeli de Ato Forson no. Adia sa na Attorney General Godfrey Dame Afre Jakpa. Attorney General no case no ntiasie. Then Jakpa has to sit back and explain to him what LC means. Has to explain to him how LC can be cleared. Has to explain to him the role of the agency, the role of the ministry, the role of the health ministry. And this is the Attorney General. And at a point, statement Attorney General Godfrey Dame, former Attorney General, and make it dangerous and say, or see, if you agree to my theory, to this theory, and Jakpa say, I cannot agree to what you want me to agree to. And I'll say, okay, if you agree, or okay, let's say you agree to my way, and it will make things easy for me. And Jakpa can say, I will be dishonest. Many pabonini say, who Attorney General person be chatro. Na mi twa sa atro na at the end of the day no, ebema Ato Forson na ko jail. It is sa atro no mentumi ntwa. Afei Jakpa can say, Only me yeshia bebre, yeshia kura wa judge penyini bi fie about this matter. Abra ye nyina yegina court. Enti wa unim say enya dia metumi atwa tro e dia boa wo case ma obi akodem. E ho na Attorney General ka say oh, na say unim say okura me nyehwe o record me ana we wiase de wa unim. Me yehwe say o record. And also me dia me no we fine pa. Ye di nkomo acha ye ko eye judge ba ko kura fie ko di nkomo asem we nyina ekoso no o de ye ndi nkomo no say I wa unim meaning say bia o record na ade it attorney general no that statement kura shows say no onim de oye onim say de no oye no na a crime. Godfrey Dami knew that moment and on it Jakpa ekasa of phone so a bra case in court no he knew say he was committing a crime. The intentions were clear for him to even raise the issue. Say, I hope you are not recording me. For him to make that statement, the intent was that he knew that his action that moment was wrong and that he was committing a crime. What he was doing was against the ethics of his job. What he was doing was against Emrano, and that if any ordinary Ghanaian does this, like myself, like yourself, that they call ordinary Ghanaian, if anybody does this, he can stand in court and jail the person. The moment Attorney General, former Attorney General Godfrey Dame, Eka say, I hope you are not recording me, no. Na onim se odibone. The intent is what we are establishing here, because na onim se ondibone a anka onka say be sure say record me, because no onim say recording in kwane be evidence anyone can use against him that he actually committed a crime. If nobody was recording him, he wouldn't have been worried. But onim says obi recorded the okana that can be used against him in any court for him to be pronounced guilty. And it's na oka say, I hope nobody is recording me. Into that statement alone, no, it makes Godfrey Dami a very dangerous human being. He is not supposed to work in any law court and call himself a lawyer. A dangerous. Now listen, when you take your time and read a code of conduct, sa code of conduct a bo a juma ho buying Godfrey Dami sebio ejuma na oye as the Attorney General of Ghana no. So read the code of conduct now. 1. Fabrication of evidence. Definition: intentionally creating or manipulating evidence to mislead the courts or influence judicial proceedings. What Attorney General Godfrey Dami no, it was basically fabrication of evidence. Because what he was doing was that court proceedings no na or manipulating witness. Na or fabricate a story. He was even telling the witness to toe his line. He was telling the witness that, you see, if you can do it my way, my theory, meaning Attorney General ana Confredamia na oti case no so na ogina court ye the main prosecutor no, he was misleading the court. He was influencing judicial process. And for him to even say, I hope nobody is recording me, no, he knew there was evidential material. It can be used against him. Say, Asamna Okaino, say, a Attorney General, and a prosecutor be any this evidence in back they say, another witness is talking to a lawyer now. The Attorney General could have used that material evidence to prosecute somebody. Until he knew. And when it comes to law, when it comes to crime, majority of the time, it is the intent behind the crime. Anything your crime will be your first degree murder, second degree murder, your manslaughter. The intent behind it will make either let the judge pronounce you say we're first degree murder, we're second degree murder, we're manslaughter. The intent we realized, and that's why we saw in we heard in the audio. No, Godfrey Dami knew what he was doing. He knew he was committing a crime. Godfrey Dami knew he was going against the code of conduct. Now, Hadia. When you read the code of conduct, and it's make us say Godfrey Dami him say on di bone on adeoye and entiamra entia ethics and our code of conduct na dear Jakpa eye say oyobia okanokra, he will be happy because this is the time for him to at the end of the day clear himself to prove to Ghana for say he is not a corrupt judicial person, he's not a corrupt lawyer. And when he was the Attorney General, he wasn't basically influencing judicial proceedings. Godfrey Dami so cry. He should not be ashamed of this. He should be happy. And by this time, no, I was saying Godfrey Dami to be releasing statement. And I saw a press conference. I said, I am happy this is going to the authorities for investigations because I believe I never did this. I didn't say this. Whatever is out there is a lie. But because Godfrey Dami knows he's guilty, because what we had, the intent, which clearly shows he is guilty. He's quiet. Godfrey Dami abused his office. Now, when you go to the fabrication of evidence, this is what it says. I say relevant law, section 213 of the Criminal Code Act 29. in the Criminal Code Act, no, and I'm a punishment felony conviction. Now, so we are sad, when you intentionally create or manipulate evidence and also mislead courts or influence judicial proceedings, you can be arrested. In fact, your friend will be felony conviction. You better match what we say. And from what we heard, what we listened to, Godfrey Dami basically was trying to do what? Mislead the court or influence judicial proceedings or manipulate, intentionally trying to manipulate evidence. This is crazy. This is not a joke. Now, so punishment now up to 10 years imprisonment. Or say, ya chill. Nasi ya shishem. Nasi oh yes sad now. So could demu if you do 10 years. And if John Mahama says we are resetting, there's a reset agenda. These are the kind of things we need to do. We need to reset the system. Obi obey against the decision Jakpa has taken to move this to the CID. Sandy Panoy Mambo for your Chrome 4. Because then, Ghana ye, set Ghana ye, Imran ye Jumano. If you don't support this action by Jakpano, now you're Chrome 4. Because then, how are we going to make sure the right things are done? Because people like Godfrey Damina, you're more the position to be attorney generals. They should know better. They should know the law. They carry themselves around that they are lawyers. They are well learned. They know the law. So if you know the law, then there's no excuse here, especially when you are the attorney general. You need to come and clean yourself, especially when there is a clear-cut evidence on the table that you and I can listen to and deduce. Attorney General Godfrey Dami can go to jail after the CID investigations. He actually did that. He can go to jail for 10 years. Depending on severity and intent, up to 10 years imprisonment. Depending on severity and intent. In law, intent is very important. So we come for life, intent. So we come for 1 year, intent. So we come for 10 days, 10 years, the intent behind your actions. If the investigations started, not that conclusion be who say the intent was him trying to manipulate the process. 10 years or the intent was for him to influence the judicial proceedings. 10 years or the intent was intentionally creating or manipulating evidence. 10 years Godfrey Dami felon in the back because the intent. Now, how do we establish intent? We establish intent when somebody decides, when he's taking an action, starts to question the actions. When you start to question your actions, then it means there is an intent. So when you say, oh, tam adhere the every baby. Now you say, "Enisa wankasa ade na wotam." Na say, "Unim say ade na wotam no, edo beto problem." Now frɛ wadan for catch and say, "Akwesi, ye nyina we adwuma mu." Na diamond na that table no so no, unya sure say obi tama obeko jail. Na Akwesi ka say da bi o, sa diamond de otama obeko jail o. Na ka say, "Oh, okay." Na me pese me hu say otama obeko jail. Na and the call na otama, the intent was to take it. You are already determined. You had the intent to take it. Tama okachire I am sure nobody's recording me. Not intent no. He knew what he was doing. Na onim say adiena o ye no e boni. And it's say the intent is very important. Now importance about intent and say and then a chere wadwumu po and the wo ye no at that moment. Oko e chere say possible disbarment or removal from public office if convicted. Say ya chill, ya shishum, ni who say, Sada na ya or see a pamu free the legal fraternity. And this we are offer one lawyer beam, or see a chawasu, or see a bro pamu, ya shedun so go, ya tititi, a KVIP guso, na ya brody and sono, and in Sanson Sao, na a di ya de banchi, dia bro, and oko to baby say, and this from one lawyer beam. I will see at the bench ya sao. Yade ensansun gu ho e say yade abe esraw na yade mafi efa wanim na ya bro ya tawbu na ya sade eye shito fa to ho na ya pian ekoto nsuo bia no e say ya twa wosu eni se ofra ho krampo se o ye lawyer, you have to be disbarred. Intent ni here now so ko anim a code of conduct no I say Definition: perjury. Now, knowingly making a false statement under oath in a judicial proceedings. Remember, time no mo kasa no na case no court. Na time na case no court no before a prosecutor, a witness, an accused, everybody is under oath. The prosecutor himself, who is the attorney general, takes an oath. Meaning, say you are under oath, and the intent is to commit a crime. At the end of the day, what happens is say, because you are under oath, you are at the end of the day committing a crime, and also it falls under felony. Relevant law, section 211 of Criminal Code Act 29. Definition: knowingly making a false statement. Time ago, for Jakpa say, you let's take my theory. You use my theory. And Japaka say, I can't use your theory. Or say, no, you use mine. At that moment, he is knowingly making a false statement. Or pese Jakpa ko tatro. Or pese Jakpa eko tatro. Until he knew his actions. He knew where he was headed. The intent was there. Into a false under felony. And also no punishment near then up to 7 years imprisonment. Loss of credibility in future legal proceedings. Ubetima koda efiasi infien song. Okay, team, send it to me. We have some documents we'll be showing you and evidence about Godfrey Dame. We will see excavator, the missing excavators near there. They will be working on that very soon. Yeah. How the auctioned excavators. We see Godfrey Dame. We will show you all how all these things came by. Nina time to dry the bachelor. Inti okay perjury. When you are under oath, so this you can go in for 7 years. Team. Now, the reason why Godfrey Dame time as some way by in the courtroom of Madam Sewa, now ye can't say onra a witness boxing. Now deny say sa audio way na Jakpa Ediabeto Abontino, and yet on na okasa or say onyeno. It was because he knew say when he enters the box and takes an oath, he's going to go to jail for 7 years. And until during the case, started case, not only the lead counsel for the state, only the attorney general only the cross-examination. Time a Jakpa Eddie audio the Barbontinia or petition court to say, Sadia way na Godfrey Dame or your state prosecutor, lead counsel for the state. Godfrey Dame took a step back. Say judge now tia kodwumsana or a judge papa or penokra. The judge would have said, say, Godfrey Dame should get in the box and take an oath and give us an answer. Say, sa audio na Jakpa release no and I said no. But because Godfrey Dame knew the moment he mounts that box, now or take oath, the moment he takes that oath, he's going to go to jail for 7 years because he could never deny or he will never be able to deny say enya or no neka so tape him. And along the way, in the middle of the case, people said the judge was a terrible judge. This woman, Godfrey Dame kwasi asema odi Mami way, she was the problem. Onye a judge you can trust, because if you're a judge who wants the right thing done, the moment an accused person comes out with evidence, material evidence, and tell you, say, Madam Judge, you have to be just. This man who is the Attorney General, he has committed a crime and I have evidence to it. In fact, if you want to know, you can call me in a box or call him in the box to prove to us that he didn't do this. The judge deliberately said, no, I will not allow that. Why did the judge stop it? Because the judge knew when the judge listened to the audio, he listened, he heard Godfrey Dame's voice. Because the judge wanted to protect the Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, she refused to allow Godfrey Dame to enter the box. And the most shocking thing is say, Godfrey Dame was the lead counsel for the state. Time we do say, or cross-examine Jakpa again, Godfrey Dame took a step back and said he's not going to do it, and that his deputy should rather cross-examine Jakpa. Because don't him say, so Nwankasa cross-examine Jakpa was going to question him in the box. But because he wanted to avoid that, because he knew he had already committed a crime, he refused to enter the box to take an oath. The judge also helped him to avoid that. Minti, anka judge ni kanokre, sa judge we honesta, and anka pese emrano eye juma, anka sa judge we ma eye Godfrey Dame tena dakem. Na oma Jakpa lawyer ebusa ne se me pacho, did you confront my client? Were you the one on the phone talking to my client? You as the Attorney General, did you meet my client in another judge's house to discuss this case in court? But this woman, knowing that the Attorney General, former Attorney General Godfrey Dame and the Oyeni Nyenti, they wanted to protect criminality. This woman said no. Mami we said I'll be on penny. And these are the people working in Ghana and saying judges. And when you speak about them, they're like, hey, warrants, come and that is what we are seeing in Ghana. Morally, a judge, if you want your credibility to be intact, all that you do is that Attorney General, enter the box. I respect you. I know you are just, you want to do the right thing. Enter the box and prove to Ghana that you are an Attorney General who is not a criminal. But this woman said no. This woman said Godfrey Dame should walk. In fact, the most embarrassing part is when Godfrey Dame said, I am not going to even cross-examine Jakpa. Let my deputy do it. And the woman was like, okay. This judge was like, okay, Godfrey Dame, the court is yours. Do what you want to do. That is how bad under Tokonu, this is what we experienced. This is what we experienced under Godfrey Dame as the Attorney General. This is what we experienced as an Attorney General under Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. This is what Eye Tokonu was overseeing. This is the danger we were in. And you know the funny thing, Madam Tokonu actually suggested this woman to Akufo-Addo to promote her to the Supreme Court. This judge. This woman was part of Tokonu's 5 judges. She referred to Akufo-Addo that Akufo-Addo should promote to the Supreme Court. This woman was going to make it to the Supreme Court if Akufo-Addo or Bawumia had won the elections. This woman. And this is a simple thing as a judge. So many people were talking. The court credibility was on the line. The judiciary credibility was on the line. This woman said no. Godfrey Dame should not enter the box and take an oath. The former Attorney General committed the greatest sin when it comes to our judiciary on the land. Godfrey Dame is the worst Attorney General anyone has ever come across. An Attorney General who can call a witness behind the scenes and force the witness, try to convince the witness to lie. And that guy kept on being the Attorney General of Ghana and the Akufo-Addo and the Bawumia in front of this woman in our court. What kind of country were we building? And then at the end of the day, the Chief Justice said that put this woman in the Supreme Court. This alone should not allow, this alone should tell us that she was not prepared to enter the Supreme Court. I have no problem with her. But the conduct of some of the judges, the behavior, the kind of political leanings, the clear-cut biasness in our courtrooms, the entitlement some of them feel, the way they are able to abuse the rule of law, because they are in the courtroom, when the people are yearning for what we call transparency, when Ghanaians were saying, give us transparency, let us see our court can be trusted. These people submerge the integrity of the court deep, deep down under the ocean. And these are things that we have been talking about for years. These are things we have been discussing. This was some of the things a judge can say, Kevin Taylor, or the contempt at Tomiso. These are some of the things. People like us, we can't sit and watch these kind of things to happen. A judge sits in courtroom, a witness come to court and say, my lord, I have something, I have a problem, I have evidence. This man prosecuting me wants me to change my mouth, wants me to deceive the court, wants me to lie to put another man in jail. And the judge says, no problem, throw it away. And then the man who was accused of tampering with witness, comes and say, I'm not going to enter the box, and that I'm not even going to cross-examine the witness. I am going to make my deputy do it. And we sit in Ghana, and some fools in Ghana were applauding this in our courts. Now, Nkwasiafobi to Ghana to TV, so defended this action, and a judge. Wako school, wait to me, I fought through the mill. Now I'm a politicians. They are bringing your credibility down. This is what we were fighting. That is the danger. The reset now, your person judiciary, they are resetting. These are some of the things. Now, let me show you something. Momeyanko tie Kofi Bentil of Imani. And as some way by Jakpa, edit case way, Akoma CID. Say MBA investigations, no. Muntie Kofi Bentil as some kind of TV so.
My point is that it happened, and in the space of a trial or in the process of a trial, that is the best way to bring out the truth and properly explain it. And I think that has happened. If somebody believes that they were maliciously prosecuted, they should go ahead and do that. But if you are asked to testify to something, if you, Beatrice, tell me that, oh, Mr. Benton, I believe you saw this, and I tell you that I didn't see it, and therefore I didn't go ahead to say it, I really don't see where the problem is. But clearly, there may be more to this than meets the eye. It is very clear to me that there's a lot of political energy behind this. There's a lot of vengeance seeking behind this. There's a lot of projection of power behind this. And the persons involved are in a position where they can project state power. So I repeat, to the extent that the legitimate offices of state and the powers of state are being put to work on this matter, I have no problem. But we should all be aware of the fact that there is a very high likelihood of an abuse of power, and we should guard against that. Because if we keep doing that, there is no guarantee that the next round, when the next person comes into office, they will not do that. And then we citizens are left to, hold this bucket where we are funding people's personal vendettas. And then the work of state is left undone while people pursue their own personal vendettas. So if there is a case, yes, you should go ahead and pursue it. But it looks to me like something which, very much resembles, a revenge.
You think is a political witch hunt, using my own words, but let me ask you this. Will it be fair to say that perhaps Mr. Jakpa is going ahead to the CID because that petition at the General Legal Counsel by that private individual perhaps has not seen any response as far as we are concerned? Yes,
that's, I think, a matter of fact. That the General Legal Counsel petition doesn't seem to be going the way they want. So clearly, it's fishing for another avenue to, exact its pound of flesh. That is why I'm saying we should all appreciate that if somebody has a right to do something, nobody should foreclose on it. But where the person is projecting the powers of state, where the person is occupying an office of state, we should all ward against the abuse of that office. I'm not saying he's abusing the office. I'm saying there's a potential to do so. And that is what we should ward against, because it is not good for anybody, especially we citizens, that the offices of state are used to prosecute personal agendas. It's not good.
What do you look forward to? And that's my final question to you before I come to the panel.
Well, I think he's made his appeal to the CID. I really trust the persons at the CID to do a professional work. But we must not be naive. If somebody in a high office of state goes to make some of these complaints to the CID, it becomes a burden on the CID to do the work and do it more expeditiously, and there will be some pressure on them to do the work in a way that satisfies these persons who are sitting in high political office. So that brings a certain pressure on the CID, which I wish was not there. But I'm hoping that they'll be able to manage that pressure and do a professional work. And if it turns out that indeed the person made the errors, prosecute the person. But if it turns out that indeed what is being accused did not happen, I pray that the CID will have, the wherewithal to tell the complainant that, please, you do not have a case, go home, do your work, and let us.
This is the problem I have with some people in Ghana. You see where the problem is. It's at this point you ask yourself, who has Ghana at heart? When you listen to Kofi Bentil, now a young man, and you ask yourself, so who has Ghana at heart? Who has the right to clear their name? In Ghana today, when you want to fight for the right thing, how do you have to do it? You have to be somebody from my hometown in Ayeldo. Nobody knows. And son, wait to me, I try to fight to clear your name. Like, how does the law work? Like, Utie Kofi Bentila. The all can say, Jakpadi case na ko a ye police say you mono. Only the ohuni say it's abuse of power. And that a political persecution, and that something he calls it is highly likely that there's a higher authority. There's the presidency. They are pushing Jakpa to do this. And if he used political energy, he used a word like vengeance, he used words like projecting, where are we now as a nation? When Godfrey Dame was on phone telling Jakpa to toe his line, when Godfrey Dame called Jakpa to meet him at Kulendi's house, when Godfrey Dame failed to enter the witness box to take an oath to answer Jakpa's question, was he not abusing his power? Was he not abusing his power when he picked a phone to talk to Jakpa? Was he not abusing his power as the Attorney General of Ghana? Time na oya Attorney General of our phone na one Jakpa di case no nkomo abra onim se case no wo court onokra in the conversation or admitting say on witness no share wo judge bi fie several times na ocha witness no what to do. Was Godfrey Dame not abusing power? Kofi Bento, mona moma nkofo di mfantefo atem we Jimmy. I don't respect anything about you. You are some of the foolish great people in Ghana. Mama Ekufuado ne MPP taking Ghana for granted. You are a fool. Uya kwasia. In today be amote Ghana TV so any radio so say we need to fight and change this country. No, what do you guys mean? You are a foolish man. Uya kwasia penyini muncher. Now Godfrey Dame as the Attorney General when he was in office. So because Jakpa is working with national security, he cannot demand for the right thing to be done. Uya kwasia penyini muncher ejim. Eye penyini muncher ejim. Usku awa akonyina na achede eye jimu foneba. Inim nyansa. So we are fighting for the democracy. We want the right thing to be done. So who has the right to question the system when they believe that things are not being done? Eye kwasia muncher neba. Ejim papa. You are the people. You gave Ekufuado Bawumia them the opportunity to abuse Ghanaians. How can you make such a statement? Somebody even petitioned the General Legal Council on this matter. Nothing was done. Today, the person who was in the middle or was in the middle of the issue says, I want the right thing done. If the investigators go in, do their investigations, and they find nothing wrong, I have done no wrong. The Attorney General, the former Attorney General has done nothing wrong. How can a man like you, calling yourself, say, Ako school, you have common sense, you have read than me, you are a twerp, what do you represent? Everything should be politics. So today, nobody can, at the end of the day, access our security agencies to do the job. You are a fool to even start to say, you think it is vengeance. What is vengeance here? You Kofi Bento kwasia te sawo senka Attorney General Godfrey Dame le sade we ne di wo anka kwasia wabodi mu fi ni uge nyoma wo ye no anka wo ka be jina kasa asem no. You want to politicize every single thing, and these are the fools who are parading on our TV and radios and saying vote for Bawumia is intelligent. Penyini mu ntwere kwasia penyi today de mi kwasia yi ibenyansa na ebetumi aka kire Bawumia ejim uhu finda apofi. I want kwasiafo in the wase Ghana. Mon kwasiafo se na moma nkofo ka se mfantefo ye kwasiafo. If nipa fint dawo. How can you do that? Not Godfrey Dame na Oya Attorney General, who is supposed to know better, who was calling witnesses in the middle of a case, who was basically tampering with witnesses, and you heard it for yourself. Na enkwasiafo say from who a Christopher omama nyamsuma ya time as a Christian. Nipa fin say, and we sit in this nation. Penyini mu ntware Jimmy Fudami na yesi Kofi Bentel Imani na kwasia we call radio so no oko na oba. So you, what do you represent? What do you stand for? Then today we cannot prosecute anybody. We cannot question anybody, because if you go and question anybody, it is at the end of the day persecution, vengeance. So what do we do? Iye kwasia neba ejim. And you people, it hurts me that people in Ghana see people like you and say you are intelligent. So today in Ghana, because of people's position, they cannot ask for the right thing to be done. Because of people's position, because of where they are coming from, the office they occupy, they cannot ask for the right thing to be done. Jakpa did not say, CID boss, by force, find Dami guilty. Jakpa says, I have evidence to prove that the former Attorney General committed a crime. Look into it. So why do you start to say that you think it's because some higher power, because of his position, because it is vengeance? You are a stupid fool. Your likes are the ones you gave Akufo-Addo and his cronies the room to infest. They crawled into our democracy. You are the fools who open up the cracks for disease like Akufo-Addo and his likes to crawl into our democracy, to split our democracy. You are a foolish man. So who has the right to go to the police today? If everything, we are going to read politics into everything, who has the right to go to police? Into be a CID boss. Even the CID boss of Ghana today, Asamotuna, still, a police report. I didn't think I got a CID boss on fast nation and CID boss of Ghana. Send the people in the bar. She has to go to police and make a report. And it's over Mahama appointed into some investigations by force. I'll send the panel, Yejelino, Yakwasia, Yepenin Ker. Alaji fama omo mo Jimmy dodo.
Se wani kuma kokoda se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho ba ye den eman se wani kuma kokoda se wo hwe na wani nkum so a coalition center na kobo electoral commission for ho ba ye den eman.
It's exactly 7:25 p.m. In Ghana. It's 11:25 p.m. Thank you very much for tuning in. So like let me show you. Thank you very much, team. And during the Jakpa case, the judge, I'm doing a picture show with this woman. When Jakpa brought the evidence to court and told the court that we have to, this woman, where's the judge? Mami sewa asari osediyen. Mami we yedi case riba court. Ayeka say oma Godfred Dame embegina dakem. Na on take oath. Na on kase Jakpa audio no eyo no anase nyo no ano. This is what the woman said. Judge we your kind. Na for pani afenyomakin. This is what the judge said. AG Jakpa tape. There is no basis to allow inquiry into Godfred Dame's conduct. Judge, this is a basis be any upon the Godfred Dame, also there's no basis to even inquire into his conduct. Also, me inquiry be Godfred Dame bokrono odin kwasesebo Godfred Dame ya de kwa ne ache within the case yenja Godfred Dame na emrano yenjina court ne nim kwasese. That is what this woman said in court. A court, a woman, a judge. Witness Akachal say, Madam Judge, this is what is going on. The Attorney General is abusing his office. He's forcing me to say things I know they are not true. This Attorney General is a liar. What he's doing is criminal. The judge said, you know something, there's no basis to allow inquiry into Godfred Dame's conduct. Also on penny. No standards. That's what the judge said. Also no standards. And the Akufo-Addo and the Bawumia. Intienne asama court. Na judge B. Yes, way and na judge Biena Noka. These same foolish people were sitting in Ghana telling us to say, oh, Abronya ko jina judge Bienim no. Judge ne ko to Idi Amin. Na Idi Amin no ya boa. You saw all of them over the place. Hey, we don't understand. Near to Ghana, and Obi Koti, the black book. The black book from UK. So, but I'm been a try cry. But Idi Amin as an African, we have created an impression. A judge sits in court and quote Idi Amin. And you saw these foolish boys all over the place. This is crazy. How can a judge quote Idi Amin? Idi Amin kumame. Idi Amin, we cool papa. People did more atrocity, more crazy things in Africa. Idi Amin, do you know the real story behind Idi Amin? And people create this nonsense. We sit in Ghana, somebody commits a crime, a judge says, the Attorney General, even though we have a tape, we are not going to question the Attorney General. Let the case keep going. We don't care whether the Attorney General has killed somebody, has tampered with evidence, has tampered with witness. The judge said, I don't care. Let the case go on. These same people did not say anything. And Abronya Kwasiampe and Nimsa Ponchibeya Kojina court. Not judge a quote from Idi Amin. And the actress say, in my courtroom, I can use this quota. These stupid, foolish boys are all over the place. We have not heard anything like this before. How can you quote Idi Amin? You want people to be quoting Kufuor, but you don't want people to quote Idi Amin. Do you know what Kufuor did? You want people to be quoting the Kufuor. You don't want people to be quoting Idi Amin. Do you know what Kufuor did? You want people to be quoting people like Kufuor, but you don't want people to quote Idi Amin. You are a madman. Do you know the story of Idi Amin? It is what you came to meet. It is what they told you. Have you done your own research? And ye Jimmy Wagana, I say nine. Today, 2 days ago, I've seen something about some of these boys, some of these guys. We don't understand. And why did the government of Ghana receive the deportees? Oh, deportee, I will call you. Receive the deportees from America. And we don't understand. We have to go to court. We need to stop the government. These deportees are Ghana government. Aji omo Ghana. Omunya Ghana for. The base assembly in say, these are Africans. Omo ko obi manso. And then Nipan say on pelmo. And then Nipan say he wants to get rid of them. Sa Krona, America say he wants to get rid of them. No, the country does not care where they will land. We are the same people in Africa saying Africa should take the lead. We have to be our own Africa. We need to protect a brother. These same boys sitting on TV and radio saying, why did they bring the Africans here? Why did they bring them? These are the same foolish boys who went to Europe and America to learn law. They could not learn law in their own country. They had to go to this same Europe and go learn the law. Today, their fellow Africans are being brought, and we as a nation, out of generosity and hospitality, we are saying we will receive our brothers. Even though they are not from Ghana, some are from Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso. These people, America is deporting. None of them. Obienwa murder case done so okuobi. These people who are being deported from America, Obienwa yakase wekunipa 500, wakomisi some genocide. These are people who at the end of the day, yes, omo paperwork in Yejuma, so they should leave America. So if they should leave America, not so many baby ako, not Ghana is receiving them. What's the big deal? But you get these foolish boys sitting on TV and radio. We don't understand. They should go to court. They should do this. They should do that. And these people turn around and say, we are Pan-Africanists. We want Africa to come together. We don't want borders in Kwasiafo. You don't want borders. Your fellow African is being hauled from another country. It's being pushed out. And your country is saying, I'm receiving them because Togolese are Ghanaians. Ivorians are Ghanaians. Nigerians are Ghanaians. We are one Africa. And the Union Africa we don't understand. Why are they bringing them here? Why are they not Africans? You don't love them again? Are you not the same people saying that you don't want the young people of Africa to be going outside to hustle? Today, the white man says, I don't want Africans. He's bringing them back to their root. Why are you complaining? We are by force lawyers in Kwasiasem. Are they not Africans? Emancipation. We are one people. We love ourselves. We love each other. Our brothers are being sent. The slaves that we sent to Europe and America, the slaves are coming back home. We don't want them to stay with us. We have been talking about slavery. We have been talking about the black man not being recognized in America, in Europe, in Asia. Today, they are saying we don't want black people. We are taking them back to their roots. You say we don't want them. Then you turn around and say, I'm a proud African. I went to UK to study law. I went to Holland to study law. And so it makes you wise. You are foolish. Inferiority complex. Siatra, Jimmy. So you are going to court. You have an issue. Why are they bringing Africans to Africa? Why are they bringing Africans to Africa? Kwasia, niamfa African nkwahi. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo justified the importation of mercenaries. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he justified the importation of mercenaries. In Kwasiafo like you and Kofi Bento Dems, you defended Akufo-Addo in 2015. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo brought mercenaries to Ghana because we are stupid people. Young Kwasiafo, you buy and send me a job because of 2 million. Today, we are sitting there fighting. We are going to court. We don't understand. This fool, he imported mercenaries and he justified it. This fool, he imported mercenaries into Ghana. This cabbage, this twerp, he imported mercenaries, sat on TV and justified it. Today, the Americans are saying they don't want some Africans in America. I am lucky to have an American passport. I wasn't born here. My fellow African did not get that opportunity like I have. The American government says, I don't want those who are not legal to stay in America. Let them go back to Africa. Some of them don't even know where they are from. Some of them don't even know their country. Now a country says, let them come in. Let us admit them as our brothers. Let us try and resettle them wherever they are from. Foolish boys like you, stupid boys and girls, because of politics, they have to go to court. They have to sue the government. They have to. And what do you mean by we are Africans? Continent here and could be to a Nkrumah say when people unko Africa. The reason why these people ended up with us in Ghana was because baby Omufrino, they don't have any relationship with the American government. In terms of Kotumpu, everyone go to a Pumana, and Kwasiafo, Sanka America for the Kofo Kugu Puma, and Quebetina TV so Ghana. Like I said, I learned law in UK, I learned law in Holland. I am then, you know something, this is bad. We are Africans, we have to fight for our own. We cannot allow our children, our brothers and sisters to be humiliated. Kwasia. So where should they go? Because as an African, if you ask me that these people, where should we take them? I will tell you to take them to Africa. I don't care where you drop them in Africa. Because I believe Africans are one people. If the Americans don't want them because they are illegitimate, they have to go back home. So what's the big deal? It is every time you people are being stupid. Now just out Chinese for and I also will deport you Ako Asia. That's how they go Japan. The Japanese will take them and give them to China because they see themselves as Asians. At that moment, their collective good is most important to them. These are not criminals. These are people who don't have documentation. These are people who are like you in Ghana. These are people be beating them America. Illegal way America. They are not bad people. They are not crazy people. It's the American system. The government believes to say they cannot hold them or keep them in America. I don't falter them. It is their nation. They decide what to do, what they want to do, how they want to govern their nation. So if the American government believes that they want to sanitize their system, they don't want some illegal people in the country, it does not make our African brothers bad people if they want to give them to us. If we have the capacity to host them, why don't we take them? Why should this be a conversation? Now, sorry say we are going to sorry them. We are emancipating. We are doing now. Wait to Ghana to TV. So this is no topic. This is nothing. This is nothing. What is this? Now, Liberia for Tokwa, they came to Ghana. What is the difference between this and the people as refugees who came from Liberia to settle in Ghana, Bujumburam? And today, Liberians live with us. We have Ghanaians who have married Liberians. You don't even see the difference between a Liberian and a Ghanaian. So the difference is that they were put in on a plane and brought to Ghana, and you make people feel like they're not human beings. Do you know what you are doing? Do you know what it does to those people? They feel not accepted. And some of you are going in, infiltrating and telling them, sue the country, sue the country. Do you know what it does to these people? If these people landed at Kutuka and Yenyiba together as a people, gave them a welcome and settled them down, do you think? How do we build? How do we foster that coordination? How do we call ourselves Africans, one people. Jimmy. Tomorrow, TV, so he is explaining, you know what, the Americans, what was the agreement? Do I fucking care about Americans agreeing with Ghanaians to bring an African to Ghana? Do I fucking agree? Do I care about the MOU? Do I care about the deal my government of Ghana is having with the American government? I need my brother alive. I need my sister alive. I need an African from Togo, an African from Nigeria. An African is an African. So why don't we become humans for once? And then the other name for school kakre bekono na ya dane mwa ya si Jimmy, especially Ghanaians. I don't know Jimmy sir. Why are you stupid? And these people on AU Day, they are talking about Nkrumah. We believe in the ideologies of Nkrumah. Nkrumah did not even want one border in Africa. Nkrumah didn't want to see a border between Ghana and Nigeria. And Togo. He didn't want to see a border between Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire. He didn't want to see a single border. So what did Nkrumah want? Nkrumah wanted a united Africa. He wanted an African who can pick his bag from Nigeria and come settle in Ghana. A Ghanaian who can pick his bag from Ghana and settle in Sudan. That is what Nkrumah wanted. So if you believe in Nkrumah ideology and vision, and you call yourself an African, and your fellow African, out of poverty, out of hardship, out of political intimidation, decides to leave their own land, to go to the white man's land, and today the white man is saying, I don't want you. Why don't you embrace them and bring them back home? How do you become Africans? How do you become who you want to be? Now, TV, so because of politics, you are stupid people. Some of you are stupid. I watch these things and I feel pity for you people. Some of you. School now. Yani before school nyamaye. School is not good for some of you black people. Kwasiebia ko school kakrebi na also akolo school kakrebi pe na wa Jimmy for. So what are we fighting for? And what is the government? What did the government tell? The American government said, I don't like these Africans. They don't have documentations. Go back home. Those countries these people are from, America, any connection when it comes to diplomacy, when it comes to treaties, they don't. So at the end of the day, an African has to help an African. An African brother needs to look and help an African. Into your born and say, these people should come and be humans. These people should come and be comfortable. These people should come back home and feel they are back home. You wanted these people, their bodies to be sent to Ghana for these fools to go and parade and have big funerals. Go on the desert. Go and see what's happening on the desert. These people are getting out of Africa. Young people. They are dying every single day. All because we have not been able to sit down to understand what we stand for. We have not been able to allow ourselves to reason. We don't even understand who we are. We don't even understand what we believe in as a people. So our young people are leaving because those people out there, even though they don't have anything, they have something they can hold on to. They have something they can believe in. There's something that is bonding them. When you go to Europe, whatever we have in Ghana, when you put everything in Europe together, it does not even get to a quarter of the resource we have in Ghana. But they stand united than us. Why? Because you're Jimmy. Because an African goes to Europe and goes to learn some stupid law. He comes to Ghana, he wants to be on every TV. Every stupid Ghanaian goes out there, he goes there, he thinks he went to school. And I went to school here, and they think they're smart. Basic common sense, you cannot apply it. These people are dying on the desert. They're dying on the sea. All because we have failed to think. All because we are stupid. Some of us, Jimmy, when you come to Africa, Jimmy Pani school. That is our biggest problem. When you come to Africa, Jimmy school. School, they are smarter. And Jimmy no, and they take advantage of the system. Why should you be sitting on TV and having an issue with an African who has been deported to your country? You should be proud and say, I've received my brother. If his home country does not even take him, I'll settle him in my country. Who is a murderer? Jimmy.
Fellow freedom fighters, comrades and friends, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to Accra and to this conference of African freedom fighters and supporters of the growing movement for Africa's liberation and unity. It is good for our cause to have a periodic meeting of this kind to examine our position in the great struggle to rid Africa completely and forever of imperialism and its handmaidens, colonialism and neo-colonialism. It gives us the opportunity also to review our strength as well as that of the enemy, and to reorganize our forces and our strategy in order to carry the struggle forward to victory. We have shaped a destiny for ourselves, and no one can alter the course of that destiny. It is the destiny of complete freedom for Africa, the total liberation of our continent, and its political and economic unification. We have achieved some measure of success in this struggle for human freedom and dignity. But we still have a great task ahead. We can only know the extent of our task and our own strength when we have examined and ascertained that of the enemy. Who is the enemy? Fellow freedom fighters, the enemy is imperialism. Which uses as its weapons colonialism and neo-colonialism. Let us be very, very clear about this. Let us also not lose sight of the real objective, which is the liquidation of colonialism and imperialism in all its forms: political, economic, ideological, and the political unification of Africa, our dear continent. Then we must ask, what is imperialism? And what are the forms it has taken? And what other mask is it likely to put on? Modern imperialism arose when capitalism had achieved both industrial and financial monopoly, and the competition for raw materials and markets had made it imperative for the advanced industrialized countries to expand into the less advanced parts of the world. This phenomenon led to the partition of the world among the great powers. Asia and Africa were divided up among them. Fellow freedom fighters and friends, African nationalist thinking has been adjusting to internationalism within the continent, the development process that must lead to the political unification of the African continent. But the objective of African unity can be seriously undermined by tribalism, which provides one of the happiest hunting grounds for the colonialist and neo-colonialist enemies of African independence and unity. Unless we take this problem of tribalism very carefully in hand, it can undo all our valiant efforts to bring real independence to Africa. We all know the evils of colonialism, but there are some of us who do not appreciate the malevolent possibilities for infinite destruction and even chaos of uncontrolled tribalism, which can make havoc of our hopes and our aspirations. We know that the colonialists are past masters in the policy of divide and rule. They are quick to seize on tribal differences which they discover among us and use this to pit one group against the other. Soon, these superficial differences become exaggerated into serious political factions, which sometimes lead to tragic fratricidal struggles within the same territory. You must guard against it. Guard against it by forging a common united front against the common enemy. The dangers it opens up and the manipulations to which it can be put are too numerous and too threatening for us to ignore its urgent demand for critical and constructive attention. Failure in this task would only risk all the efforts and sacrifices that we have made so far in our common cause and place in jeopardy the future peace and development of the continent. I therefore charge you to place high on your agenda and to give it your most thoughtful and creative consideration. Colonial rule has left a high degree of illiteracy among our people. And we all know that in conditions of ignorance and superstition, it is easy enough to fan internecine feuds. This menace can be met by unity among the leaders and the creation of a nationwide, firmly knit political organization, receiving the most complete loyalty and devoted service from all its members, especially its officers and organizing officials in the field. Colonial rule has left the masses of our people poverty-stricken, disease-ridden, while enormous quantities of mineral and agricultural wealth were drained out of Africa year in and year out. I am not making this point merely in order to harrow you with ugly memories. Many of you have been confronted only too recently with the shocking actualities of calculated oppression to be able at this moment to push them out of your mind. I raise this point so that it will stay in your minds when you may be tempted by the seductive promises of new colonialism to forget the real character of colonialist imperialism and be persuaded away from your own true interests and those of Africa.
We still don't understand who we are. This man saw 100 years ahead of him. And I know kind of correct. In 2025, say you deport African every America, we all are supposed to be sad. Because it's not supposed to happen. It is not supposed to happen in the first place because an African is not supposed to be living on somebody's continent or in somebody's country without documentation. An African should be able to travel as an African and come back home as a proud African. An African should not sneak into people's homes. He should not sneak into people's land. An African should not be a slave, a modern day slave, all in the name of trying to survive. 14 people were deported. We are supposed to be shy. We are supposed to be ashamed. We are supposed to feel bad for ourselves. And this is going to happen over and over. This is not going to be the last. This is never going to end. Until you and I, Yakosku Kakrana Yejimino, we sit and understand where we are going, where we started, and where we want to end. The white man's kids are going to grow and they are going to do the same thing their forefathers are doing because that is what they came to inherit. And you cannot fault them for that because they need to protect their land. They need to protect what they have. They need to also live. What are you doing? We are doing nothing. We are copying. We are speaking grammar. We are pretending as if we know everything on this planet. 14 of our brothers have been deported back home. We are supposed to feel bad for each other. As I speak to you tonight, a man for na me poso. Young people are on the desert. We have disappointed them. We never listened. We have been stupid for long. We don't know who we are. I have lived in America for years. I have an American wife. I have kids who were born in America who can be American presidents. I cannot. I can never be an American president. I can never climb the highest office because I am not American. I am not born American. You should be born Ghanaian, born African, and be proud. So if your brother today in 2025 is being deported, I am lucky because I live here legitimately. I live here because my documentations are right. My brother should not sneak to enter here because where he comes from, where everything is, has not been managed well. We don't even know why we are where we are today. And we still sit on TV. An African country goes into an election and the judges sit and tell us that they want to go pick a black book from Europe to judge our democracy. That is a stab in the democracy we have built. Young people go out of this country, they go and learn what the white man believes in and wants to apply it in where the black man lives. This should be a recall. This should be an alarm. It should tell you and I. We might think that we today, what is happening to these brothers and sisters, being deported will not happen to us. In the next day, year, month, it's going to happen. This is a cyclical condition. Until the mind gets to that point where it is ready, until we accept that we can't build ourselves, this is going to happen. If Nkrumah was speaking in the 60s, 70s, and in 2025, people are being deported from the white man's land to Africa because they don't have documentations. And what will make somebody leave their home without having the right documentations? It is because the home they are coming from has failed them. We are too smart but very stupid. When I see people sit on TV and radio arguing, talking about this, we need to go to court. What did the government negotiate with the American government? Do I care? Do I fucking care? At least the American government was good. They did not shoot these people. At least they are good people. At least they handed our people to us. Some people would have killed them. But these people were like, you don't deserve to live here because your papers are not good. We should at least take this and learn from it. This is the time people are speaking grammar. PhD, doctor, political analyst, scientist, and kwasiafo. What we are doing back home is what our kids are learning. The way we don't believe each other, we don't believe in ourselves, the way we don't believe in where we come from, the kids are beginning to believe in that. And let me tell you, in the next 10, 15 years, what we believe in today in Africa is what they're going to believe in. You see these people, what they believe in America is what their kids are going to believe in. And when a young American goes to the United States Army and takes weapon to fight for their country, they don't fucking care who you are because it is what they have instilled in their head and in their heart. They love their country dearly. They will die for it. But we can't say that for ourselves because what we have been taught is to be selfish, is to believe that we are better, but we know nothing, is to silence our own people. We are selfish people, ingrates. We are people who don't respect where we come from. That is why the cycle keeps going on and on. It's never going to change until at a point we start to believe in something different. And what is that thing different? That different thing is what Nkrumah was talking about. We don't have self-belief. We don't believe in ourselves. We are not ready to adapt to our own system. Yeah, Jimmy, we are a lot of illiterates parading on TV and radio as intelligent people. Nothing is working. Nothing is working. An African can move from Africa, come to Europe, and in a short space of time, he starts to adapt that in Europe you cannot pee on the street. Start to adapt that Europe you have to marry one woman. They live within the law. Our children in Ghana, our children in Africa, they are living by nothing. There are no standards. We talk too much. We speak too much. We think we read books, we become intelligent. We are still stupid. We can't apply it. We can't apply it. It's not about age. It's about we. what these kids are inheriting, let me tell you, in Kraya Womundeno, they are going to do the same thing for the next 50 years. Because they are not learning anything new. In Nkrumah'S, in Nkrumah'S, they are adapting to what their elders, their forefathers are doing today. According with these 7 years with Asia, Oceania, what is in Asia, what is happening, they are adapting to it. And that is how they will grow. They will grow to believe in their country. They will grow to believe in hard work. They will grow to believe in agriculture. They will grow and believe in innovation. They will grow and believe in working. But we will grow and believe in corruption. We will grow and believe in sidelining people. We will grow and believe in reading books and neglecting what makes us humans. We will grow and believe in nothing. We will grow and believe in somebody's ideology, somebody's belief. So we will always be second fiddle. And that has been the cycle. And we, when we were born, we thought we could change it. Still, we have not been able to change it. It is the same cycle. Because we are not ready to understand where we are. We talk too much. We speak too much. We read. We don't reason. We are just stupid. We don't want to accept the fact to say, we are not where we think we are. We will talk tomorrow. We'll discuss Ghana. It will be good. Be good to everyone. We are all messengers who are ready and willing to speak truth to power. My name is Kevin Taylor. God bless you. God bless me. Cheers and good night. Abuache.
Yo! We are best fishermen. Solo Kodo. No answer mine. Abuache. You will for Belgium Pan. It will be Tia Belgium Pan. It will do a Belgium Pan. Why you're yet? Why round what? Why you're yet? Why round what? Why you're yet? Why round what? Why you're yet? Supuno, why round what? It will for Belgium Pan. It will be Tia Belgium Pan. It will do a Belgium Pan. It will do a Belgium Pan. Why you're yet? Why round what? 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 Why you're yet? Why round? We are best fishermen. Solo Kodo. No answer mine. Abuache. You will for Belgium Pan. It will be Tia Belgium Pan. It will do a Belgium Pan. Why you're yet? Why round what? Why you're yet? Why round what? Why you're yet? Why round what? Why you're yet? Supuno, why round what? It will for Belgium Pan. It will be Tia Belgium Pan. It will do a Belgium Pan. It will do a Belgium Pan. Why you're yet? Why round what? 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 Yeah, we papa no. What one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no. What one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no. What one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no. What one is the motto? Why round what? Why you're yet? Why round what? I watch it. Original. I will move for Belgium Pan. I want me to Belgium Pan. Where you mind, Nkrumah?